almost ready, you guys. We will be ready in just a moment. I have to make just a handful of things. My computer's got turned off, so I am a little unprepared. Are we actually kidding? I hate my computer sometimes. Submit to my will. Blah, ha, 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 ha. That is all well and good. Welcome everybody to D&D Day. I now have silver hair, so that's a thing. We're about to jump into the D&D game. Everybody is in here except for Cross. Cross is not in Roll20 just yet, but he is in the D&D chat, which you guys can see right there. Which I might have to adjust the size here in a second. We will see. But we are ready to go, and with that, guys, we will be playing D&D Pirates of Saltmarsh. Dead men tell no tales. Today's going to be a heavy RP session, so I hope you guys enjoy that, and I am totally not looking at my camera. I hope you guys enjoy that, and we will be getting started. There's Cross. He is in Roll20. We are ready to go. They are not on this map. I'm just showing this map because I have extended the world. It's going to be great. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into Pirates of Saltmarsh. I am not Matthew Mercer, so we're just going to leave that at the end. And channels, boom. Alright, we are ready to go. And leave that up actually, boom. Here, boom.
Obvious when I met the Pirate King, or whatever her name is. I can't remember her name now. Yeah, thank you.
Hi guys. One thing real quick, and I'll be right with you.
It's all good.
Boom. Alright, edited. We're done. Alright. Welcome, Pirates. How's everybody today?
I'm
Good.
awake. I'll put it at that.
That's fair.
Awake,
That's fair.
loaded,
That's about where I'm at.
Fully rested.
That was loud. Alright. I literally just woke up to my computers being cut off, so I had to let them boot back up and get it all set back up. I had everything like already pulled up, ready to go, so I just had to come in here, grab some coffee, and be like, ready to go. No, I had to reboot everything, so I don't even have my coffee.
And to answer your question, fighter.
Okay, fighter. Alright, just when you get a second, just go ahead and update that in D&D Beyond.
I already did it.
Okay, cool.
I got mine updated as well, circle and all. I'm ready to go.
Alright, fantastic. All right, we do have a new player joining us,
Here comes a
Yay.
new challenge.
Razi, or Daedalus in the game. We'll be introducing him just a little bit later. I've got some RP for you guys before that, and then he'll be joining in. So just bear with us for about 30 minutes to an hour. Is about how long I think it'll take to get you in. Okay, so if we're all ready, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to the page you guys are on. All right, in our last session, we had a very long session. You guys left the Siren ship on a quest to receive a ancient blue dragon's egg. On that journey, you were given a land ship, which is kind of an old car. It looked a little bit like a U-boat, but it had a automated engine. It was kind of advanced, but it was really cool. As you guys are journeying toward where the bandit camp was supposed to be, you guys were ambushed by a bandit captain and a group of rogues who you found were actually mercenaries hired to kill you, specifically to kill you. You took care of them. After interrogating the bandit captain, a strange mark crushed his windpipe and killed him as soon as a certain word was asked, or a certain question was asked of the captain. Okay, my Siri is being weird. After that little misfortune, you guys make your way into the bandit camp to be stopped at the gate by two of the guards. You easily dispatch them, move your way into the gate, only to find 4 more bandits, 2 direwolves, and a pirate captain who happened to be a barbarian hexblade warlock. You guys actually dispatched all of that quickly, and this is where we're at. So the first thing we have to do is divvy out any loot. So do you guys want to search bodies?
Yeah, I want to go to that tent that the warlock came out of,
Okay.
and I want to search it to see if that letter that we brought is in there, and that stupid egg's in there.
Okay, we will get to that in just a moment because I actually have a map. I actually have a different map for that. So I'll get to that in just a moment. Do you guys want to search the bodies that are out here, or are you guys willing to leave those alone?
Oh no, I
I'm
want
gonna
to search the
search
body.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm searching the body of the warlock.
I'm gonna search these little tents.
Okay.
I'll search the archers and stuff.
Okay. So whoever's searching the bodies that are currently lying around, I need a investigation check.
My character sheet. Hold up.
7. The
Oh.
hell?
Investigation.
Lucky number
All
6.
right, 7. Okay, and roll an investigation check for the captain specifically. Whoever is searching the
Me
captain.
or okay.
Which one's searching the
I
captain?
was searching the captain.
Okay, Straw Hat,
I
you're
have a
searching the
15.
captain. Echo, you searched the.
Rangers.
You searched the. Okay, you searched the rangers and the fighters. Gotcha. And Red, you're searching tents.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check for that too.
Alright, here we go. No whammies, no fun.
Okay.
Nice.
Echo, when you're searching the bodies, you find their weapons. One of the bows is broken. You find 2 short bows and a total of 4 cutlasses scattered amongst the bodies. You don't see that they have any gold on them, and there's nothing really of value. No rings, no jewelry, nothing special. Just their weapons. They were all just wearing basically loincloths and flannel and just leather shirts.
Okay. And arrows and stuff.
Yeah, you find about 10 arrows total that they didn't fire at you.
Okay. I'm putting things in loot, so I have to ask.
Alright.
Okay.
Jupiter, on the body of the captain, you find that his Direwolf Cloak that he had been wearing was not completely destroyed by the mage's onslaught. So it's still intact. It's a little worn from just day-to-day use, but it's still intact. And you also find his massive maul that he had been carrying has actually shrunk down to the size of a warhammer since he is no longer bound to that. It is a magical warhammer that does need to be identified.
Okay.
All right. But identify with like wise like by either a sorcerer or a wizard or
Yeah.
Probably.
A person of magical abilities needs to identify the source of magic.
Basically, it needs identify cast on it.
okay.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is a
And they'll end up doing
warhammer,
that.
the fact that this is a warhammer, am I able to pick? Am I able to? I'm not like wielding it wise because I can't do that with my class. But am I at least able to pick this up without any kind of like difficulty?
Yeah, it's heavy. It weighs a good 20 pounds, but you can pick it up just fine.
All right, cool. I'll probably just head over to where it's like I'll probably just see if like either like Cross or Echo wants to identify this and everything like that because obviously with it is it like radiating any like kind of like arcane magic or anything like that on it?
It's not radiating arcane magic, but more like elemental magic. It's every now and then you see a little spark just pop off of it.
Me being a druid, I could probably pick up on that trouble. Or the fact that it's radiating.
You pick up that the type of magic or the type of enchantment on it is electrifying.
I'm almost positive that.
All right,
Sorry,
and Red in the tents, you find a variety of sleeping bags, furs, leathers, things that they found while hunting, as well as 27 copper pieces and 4 silver pieces total amongst the tents. I'll say for purposes you find 2 wolf pelts and a couple of uncooked rabbits. We'll say 3 uncooked rabbits.
Alright, I take all those.
Alright.
Sterling?
Yes.
The only other thing I'd be checking for is I'd just try to gather up about 10 gold worth of spell components if they're laying around this place as well. That's various incense and things like that. Charcoal, incense, things like that.
I'll say you could probably find some charcoal in the fire, but nothing particularly interesting for a wizard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just the component value itself just has to come out the 10 gold when you're done gathering it all.
Yeah, there's no special herbs around the area. It's mainly just weeds and grass.
Can do after that.
All right.
I'll look and see if there's any kind of like infirmary like that for medical supplies.
I couldn't hear Jupiter.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say like after we were because I know it's probably because I know you said that you had a separate map for the Big Ten. I know after we were done with looting the bodies, I was gonna try to see if there was like an infirmary about maybe seeing if there's any like leftover medical supplies or anything that we could probably use.
Not in the smaller tents and not immediately outside the big tent.
Okay, that's fine. All right, so if I carry this warhammer over there and I just call out to to Cross or Echo to see whoever wants to just kind of identify this warhammer. But
yeah. Sorry, Red. I have it all. I already had it typed out. Red.
Yeah. Just hold on to it because it takes a little while to do that. We shouldn't be doing that in the middle of this camp.
Yeah, it takes like 10 minutes to identify a magic item.
Yeah.
Alright, that's fine.
Alright, so we are ready to move into the Sorry, Harbor.
Into the big tent?
We are ready to move into the big tent?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright. Let me move you guys
Yes.
to that.
Can I see if there are any traps in the big tent? Because, don't trust bandits.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Alright. Did that work?
You see no traps immediately. There's nothing as you enter the tent, and from what you can see just from the tent entrance, there's nothing alarming. The captain
Okay.
didn't trap the entrance to his own tent.
Alright, cool.
Alright. From what you do see in the room, there is a large pile of books in one corner next to a table just covered with weapons. A fire in the corner just for lighting. I need everybody to make a perception check really fast, because I totally just forgot
Perception
one thing
check?
that happened. We'll count Echo's 15.
Oh, okay.
Everybody else needs to make a perception
Oh,
check.
okay. Sorry.
I'm going to count your 15 in this.
Perception.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so Cross is the only one that catches this. Everybody catches on after this happens. As Cross is walking into the tent, the pedestal that had the egg on it is now empty. But just as Cross is entering the tent, he sees the long black hair of the Siren walking through a dimension door and closing. The dragon egg is no longer in that tent.
Oh.
I kind of grumble
Okay.
to myself a little bit.
Alright. Everybody else notices that the egg is now missing, kind of confused as to why the egg is missing. Cross is the only one that initially knows that they just were betrayed.
Oh, God. She just showed up and took the egg while we were out there fighting all that stuff.
Wait. Wait, you're serious?
Yeah, I think we were just used as a big distraction. Well, there's only one thing we can do in a situation like this. Let's steal everything else that's not nailed down.
What is this pile?
Okay, so we're searching the pile of books first?
Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Okay. There's a pile of books, a table with weapons. The main desk has a variety of weird items on it. There's a chest behind the main desk, and then the pedestal where the dragon egg was sitting.
I'm gonna check the chest.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the desk.
Okay. What do you want to
Perfect.
open the chest? Do you want to?
No, first I poke it.
All right.
Get out.
As you poke it, nothing happens, but you do happen to notice there is a lock on it.
What kind of lock are we talking about here, perception?
I didn't
Kinda
hear you.
lock.
What?
Kind of lock is it?
It is a key. It's just a key lock. It needs a key to open it, or enough strength to open it.
All right. I use my own personal key. I rip it off. I try to break the lock.
All right. Go ahead and roll a strength check, or just roll for attack. Just roll for an attack. That'll do it. You manage to just take your arm and smash the lock down, and with enough force, you manage to just break open. Alright. As you break the lock, you hear a little mechanism moving inside the chest. What do you want to do now?
Wait, what?
You hear like gears clicking inside the chest when you break the lock.
quietly move back. I don't trust chest. They clickly click.
Alright, you step back from the chest.
I'm like, oh. Yes.
Okay. Alright, and if you still want to open it, you want to take your spear and slowly open it like you normally do?
Yep. Because
Okay.
I am paranoid of chest.
As you begin to slowly open the chest, and this is a large metal chest, so it takes a little bit of strength to get it up. It takes you a minute. The gears slowly wind, and a small explosion of fire. It doesn't come out more than 2 feet from the chest. It's more of a scare, just a little scare spark, pops up out of the chest.
Know it.
That's it. Just a little pop in the face. That's all it was.
Knew it.
You managed to get the chest open, and go ahead and roll a perception check or an investigation check for what you find. And for once, I actually have notes.
Yay.
Stayed up to like 3 a.m. this morning writing these damn notes.
Oh, the life of a DM.
17 on investigation. Not bad.
That is not bad at all. Alright, immediately on the top of the on top of everything that's in there, there is a scroll wrapped up in just sitting there nicely on top, and you recognize the insignia on it. It is the same insignia that was on your contracts. You can open that later. There is a pair of old leather bracers that seem to have some significant value to the captain because they're just old, beaten up bracers. They are not usable. They're just old and beaten
I'm
up.
typing it all in. Yeah.
There's
I got it, Red. I got it.
Yeah, there is
No
a
worries.
broken greatsword. It's literally just the haft of the greatsword, the haft of the greatsword and about half of it. The rest is broken off. You find a total of 1,500 copper pieces, 100 silver pieces, and 5 gold pieces. And buried under all of that money, you find 2 large scales of an ancient blue dragon. These scales are a little bit smaller than your standard buckler.
Take.
You said 100 silver?
100 silver, 1,500
Okay.
copper, and 5 gold pieces.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure because I didn't catch the silver as I was typing it all in.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to make sure because I didn't catch the silver as I was typing it all in.
Alright, and that was everything in the chest. What's next?
Alright,
I'm just going
so I
to
go up
check the desk.
Oh, right.
Alright.
Alright, Red wants to check the desk, and I heard Cross say something?
Actually, no, I was gonna go up to Cross.
Yeah, I haven't checked anything yet.
Okay, I've heard Cross talking, and then Red said desk. That's all I
I
heard.
haven't said anything.
Oh. Then
Yeah, I said I was gonna go to Cross.
Oh, okay. Alright, Red's
I was
gonna go to
checking the
Cross.
desk.
Hey, Cross.
Yeah, what's up?
And I hold a hand of the scroll. What I found in the chest.
Is it the same scroll that we brought over here?
No. this
You'll
was in
have
the
to open it to see.
I will carefully open it while they're rummaging through the stuff around here.
Okay. I'll give Cross a minute to read that. Jupiter said he wanted to check the desk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll check the desk to see if there's anything, because I also see there's a chest on there and everything.
There is a small chest about the size of a book sitting on the desk. There is also a severed hand just chilling there on the desk. It looks fairly
Okay,
fresh.
so that's... Oh boy, thought that was a glove.
No, that is a severed hand. There is also a
Alright.
lantern that doesn't seem to have an actual flame in it. It seems to have an alternate light source inside. And then there is a book that is literally the... It's a common to orc dictionary. The orc captain was trying to learn common.
I'd say he was a studious one. I'm gonna take a look at the book-sized. You said it's a chest the size of a small book on.
Yeah, it's about the size of a grimoire. It's not that big, but it's got
All right.
small stuff in it.
Is there a lock on it?
There is not.
I'm going to open it cautiously. Just open it slowly.
All right, as you open it, nothing happens, and the only thing in there is a religious relic special to orcs. It is a little totem that depicts one of their deities.
Would I know what deity this is?
Go ahead and roll a religion check.
All right.
Okay. You know very little about orc religions, but you recognize that this symbol would normally represent a god of good luck. He was trying to pray for fortune and luck in his journey, is what you gather from what this totem looks like.
So down. Looks like this might possibly correctly in my studies. This looks like this. This is the it looks like this is the this is the totem of a god of fortune, at least for orcs. At least if I'm remembering studies correctly. I just set it back in the box because if it's something for orcs, I don't really see it having any kind of luck for us.
Okay. And by the time you're done with that, Cross has read the contract that was, or the scroll that was in there. It is a contract with this pirate captain to steal the ancient blue dragon's egg. It literally says, steal this egg, bring it back to me, you will be paid blah 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 amount of gold. I believe it says about 300 gold pieces. And at the bottom, there very plainly, in beautiful Elven, is the Siren's name.
So basically, it's a contract from the Siren for this guy to go steal the egg for her. If I'm getting what you're saying correctly.
Yep.
But does this look like the paper we brought, or does this look like a completely different paper?
It's a different paper.
Okay. Huh. That's kind of interesting. It seems like the boss hired him to go steal that egg for her, and then didn't pay him? Or he cheated her. I'm not sure which way.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would he hire her why would the Siren hire him to steal the egg just for us to steal it back? That's the only way I can think of. That why she would send us after him.
Unless someone's lying, unless they're all lying to us, and we're being tricked the whole time, because none of us actually went up on deck to see the big blue dragon there to begin with.
Well, she made it very.
To be fair, there was not a dragon on the ship. He polymorphed into human form to talk to her. Just to be fair.
Well, and plus she didn't want. Apparently she didn't want him knowing that we were down there. Something doesn't feel right about it.
Nothing. Yeah, something hasn't felt right about this since we showed up here.
Yeah.
Something hasn't felt right about this since we showed up here.
I think
Aside
I
from the
smell a
aside
double
from the
cross.
bandits. Something, especially with bandits showing up to eliminate us, and now this, and I don't feel right.
I'm having a really hard time here in Jupiter.
Oh, hold on. Let me try to see if I can turn my volume up. Yeah, Mike. Can you hear me now?
A little bit.
Hey, hold up. It might be something with my phone volume. Okay. How about now?
Yeah,
Good?
that's better.
Okay, good. I didn't realize that the volume on my phone, that my headphones are I've got some wireless Bluetooth headphones that have got into my phone, and I didn't realize the volume was low because when they connect, they turn down to a certain volume because of like high volumes are bad for the ears and everything. So
Yeah. Okay, I can at least hear you now. It's like the whole time I was like, I'm catching every other word. I'm like, the hell? Okay.
it's all good. Let me know if it pops up again.
All right, you're good. All right, you guys still have the table with the weapons and the pile of books if you want to search those.
Yeah, I'm waiting on the pile of books actually at the moment.
Okay,
I
Echo.
was just letting them all do their thing.
How sensitive are you to magic? Like, would you be able to notice there's a magic book within this pile? Or would you actually have to
Oh,
look for it?
he would know that there's magic in there, yeah, but he
Okay.
probably wouldn't know exactly what book until he grabs it.
Okay. So as you're searching through the pile of books, a lot of them are just common books that people read for fun. There's a couple romance novels. There's some novels on strategy. Some books of history and legends. Um, you do notice one book is a history of Sword Coast, where you guys are right now,
Okay.
with a map of the entire area. So you do have that. There is a book on local sea legends, um, stories of temples, stories of sea monsters, local legends that have been told.
Okay.
You do find their ship's charter, so a record of where the Green Tusk pirates have, um, where they've been, and how much treasure they found over the last few years. And then as you're digging
Okay.
like deep in the pile, you do find a old grimoire. It does still radiate with a lot of magic, so you know that it hasn't been out of its original owner's possession for too long.
Okay. Um, I would like to investigate it, see if I could look at it without opening it yet, see what's inside,
Okay,
see what kind of magic it is.
go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Ooh,
Even with a +6.
even with a plus, it's an at one. Um,
Yeah. Holy cow.
the only thing you can really discern from this tome is that it was owned by a dwarven mage. Like it was owned by a dwarven mage. The magic in it feels very earthly, very down to earth. That's the only thing you can
Okay,
feel.
so
That's the only thing you can feel about it immediately.
okay. Well, I take the history of the Sword Coast, the Sea Legends, the Green Tusk Charter, and of course the Grimoire at that point then.
Okay.
Well, gotta see if I can find my house phone, because it's ringing.
All right. Sorry, I had to stand up for a moment. So he pawned through the books, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go look through the pile and I'll pick up the love novel, the romance novel, and put the trashy romance novel in my bag.
Okay. I will come up with a name for that trashy romance novel later.
Yeah. Then I will also sit down and get my ritual maracas out and start my 10-minute count.
Okay. 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 I know what you're doing.
So yeah, just let me know when it's time, and I will Batman view around everything with magic, with detect magic.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Gotcha.
sorry about that, guys. I was talking to my great aunt.
Okay, you're fine.
Waiting.
It's all good.
Alright, so Cross is spending his time casting Detect Magic, so you guys have about 10 minutes. The last thing to search is that table. And just from a quick glance, it's covered in orcish weapons. These are weapons that look... Oh, excuse me. These are weapons that look crude and barbaric. They're carved out of bones with a little metal entwined in them. There's nothing fancy like elven weapons or even the weapons of humans. Or especially not like weapons of dwarves. They're very quickly made, very crudely made.
Okay, so they're not quite worth much.
They would be worth money to a collector of different... Somebody who is interested in orcish culture. They'd be worth money too, but they're nothing special other than that.
Okay.
But can I have this one?
I didn't hear you at all.
Can I have this one?
You want the... Oh, you want the axe?
Can I have this one? Yes.
Okay. It's just a... Is it a battle axe or a hand axe?
It looks like a hand axe.
Yeah,
that's the hand axe.
That's what I was thinking. It is a hand. It's just a regular hand axe. The handle is made of bone, and some of the blade is made of bone, about a third of it, and then there is a metal. Then the rest of the blade is metal, leading up to the sharp point or sharp edge.
Oh,
It looks like somebody took a broken axe and shoved it into a bone, and it's basically what the axe is. It's just a regular hand axe.
Alright, I roleplay this. This looks like a good throwing axe. I flip it around. And I take it.
Oh, that's probably why I can't hear anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Your call volume is low, isn't it?
My headphones were like turned all the way fucking down.
What'd you last year?
I was like, why can I not hear? Oh, my daughter has been messing with my headphones. Naturally.
Well,
Alright, what'd you last year?
If you unplug your surge protector, she's gonna unplug everything.
Pretty much. I heard that you picked up the axe, and that was pretty much all I heard. I think you, like, waved it around a little bit.
Yep, I'm like, this looks like a good throwing weapon. I'll take this.
Alright. Yeah, apart from that, there's just orcish longswords, another orcish spear, but this one it's less refined than the one you found, than the pike you got from the guard at the beginning.
Well, damn, how you gonna say spears?
And
He's like, oh.
how many daggers were there on that table? I can't really.
I'll say there are 3 daggers total on that table.
Okay. All right. It's like I'm trying to count them, but I know you have a different count than what is actually on that table.
That was literally just a picture I found.
Yeah.
I just put down like what items I thought would go on there, which is similar to what was on the table.
All right.
Look what I got, look what I got, look what I got.
And they emptied the small chest, right?
Yes, the small chest just had a relic of a orc god in it.
Okay. Echo wants to pick up the severed hand and place it inside the chest. The tiny one.
With some maneuvering, the hand does fit in the chest. Okay.
Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes.
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 Yes, we can.
All right, good. All right, I had to drop out of the call for some reason. Everything went quiet.
Yeah.
Discord's been doing that lately.
Yeah,
a
Discord's
lot.
been a
It's fine.
pain in the butt.
That's fine.
Discord's been doing that lately.
So are we gonna take the hand?
All right. We're not taking the hand. I'm just putting it away so we could actually use the desk.
Okay.
That's fair.
Is the hand that big, by the way?
No, the hand is not that big. It literally would not let me make it any smaller. I tried.
Oh, I was about to say, I was
fine.
like, do you take a giant hand? That's crazy.
No, it's the hand of your standard human.
And Echo takes the
Does
seat
it have
here.
any tattoos or anything on it? Or just the hand?
It was just the hand, but you noticed the ring finger was missing. So like somebody took his whole finger just to take a ring off.
Gotcha. It's gonna be. That may be handy. You never know. Hey, you never know, man.
Oh, pun intended, I'm sure.
Oh
No!
man,
Get the hell out of here.
I'm
I
taking the
wasn't
punt.
trying to make a pun.
I'm taking the pun. All right. Cross is he's still about 9 minutes into his spell, or he's still got about 9 minutes left of his spell. So you guys are doing what?
I would like to talk to the other two while Cross is distracted. Not because Cross is distracted, but just
While
something
he's
to
doing
do
his
while
thing,
Cross
you
is
guys can
distracted.
do other things. Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not trying to exclude Cross. I'm just trying to do something.
Yeah.
Right.
I felt bad the way it first got worded. I'm like, no, I don't hate Cross yet.
I gotcha.
I like how you said yet.
Ah, damn it, you caught that. I did warn you about my whole faith thing, huh?
I mean, you're a drow. I can't. I really don't expect anything less.
Okay, so anyways, not Locke. Sorry, that's the fair. Echo would like to talk to the other two and see what's going on, because all the information isn't quite gathered up between us yet.
And you guys take a seat at the desk, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys.
Echo assumes the good chair.
Fair enough. You guys take a seat at the desk. There happens to be 3 or 4 chairs just there for war meetings and such.
Yeah.
The book of Common to Orc is still on the desk. It can be used backwards, so one of you could learn Orcish from it. It would take a few days to weeks to fully get a comprehension of it, but you guys
and Echo
could
would
use
definitely like that. Yeah,
Okay.
Echo definitely wants that.
Okay. Yeah. So it's literally a
I'll need something
dictionary.
to do between the next. Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally a
Echo can
dictionary
use it between the
between
next
Orc
4
and
hours.
Common.
Yeah, Echo can use it between the 4 hours of his other rest, the
Okay.
rest of his long rest.
That's fine.
So
later on, we'll just put that in loot chat so I remember that you learn Orcish eventually.
yeah, I already put the book in loot
Awesome. Okay.
because I was taking it either way.
Yeah, that's fair. My OBS is pissing me off today. Okay. Anyway.
So what is going on here?
Well,
Did I lose you guys? Okay.
Okay.
Huh?
I was like, everything went silent for a second. I was like, is it me?
I was actually about to. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like, well, apparently, from what we're gathering, there was a scroll. It is in that big chest right behind you that apparently had the Siren's signature. Apparently she had hired these same orcs of this camp to steal the dragon.
And Cross said that he saw the Siren leave in a portal.
Yes, in the same manner that she did on the ship earlier, that she told us and swore not to tell anybody.
Hi, puppy.
There's more direwolves around here.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there are dire wolves in the woods. I would be wary of that. Echo went to go take care of his dogs. Give him a minute.
So the Siren set us up.
That's what it seemed. Another real
And
reason
at this
behind it.
point, Echo's going to take out the scroll from the mercenaries, the bounty on their head.
Okay. And that was signed by somebody in Draconic.
Yes,
Okay.
it was. However, too many coincidences don't match up with Echo. So,
Okay.
and then there's the matter of this slamming the thing on the desk,
What thing?
slamming the scroll from the bounty.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
My God, you guys are cutting out terribly. Is that just me?
Yeah,
No, they are.
I think it's just
We
your
all
side
leave
that's
again.
cutting out because you're cutting out on me.
Try
Okay, give me
leaving
just a
Discord-
moment. I'll
Try leaving
be
the
right
chat
back.
and then coming back in.
So, yeah.
Okay, that sounds a lot better already.
Okay, yes, conspiracy. We're being duped. What's going on?
We're being hunted.
Echo, does Cross still have the contract from the Siren in his hand, or did you take that one?
No, the one I grabbed was out of my bag was the bounty on our head.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that we found here, I believe Red gave it to me, and it's probably still my pile of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just double check.
So the contract of the bounty hunters that we from the last session that pretty much had was pretty much are contracted to take us out. We do, may not know what it says because nobody speaks Draconic, but we do know that it is the Draconic language.
We know
No, the contract
signature was in
itself.
Draconic.
The contract itself is written in Common. The signature is written in Draconic. Like somebody
That's what I
wrote
meant,
out the
like, did we-
contract, and then the person who paid for the contract had to sign it.
Okay. All right. So we do know that the signature of the person who signed it. We do know that it is the language is Draconic. We just don't know what it said.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know who actually signed it, but
Yeah. Echo through his.
Echo.
Echo through his history knows what Draconic looks like, but he doesn't know how to read it.
Yeah. He's just at this point measuring up all the coincidences that just happened.
Let the paranoia set in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. After 400 years, you're going to be paranoid.
I love it.
The fact that the signature on the bounty on the contract that we found on the bounty hunt, Draconic, there might be a third party involved. Especially if it involves a dragon. Especially with us going after a dragon. There's the slightest possibility that it could be another dragon.
And I've never quite trusted that high elf.
Okay, so after you guys have been talking for a few minutes, Cross, your spell is now ready.
Okay,
You
you hear me?
Yes. You do notice
And
that the
roll
grimoire
20.
that you are feeling a magic presence from Echo, who is holding that grimoire. You can feel that magic, and I forgot to write down what kind of magic it is.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here,
Okay.
because I accidentally closed my sheet and everything.
Pretty sure these are all the same. Okay, evocation. Gotcha. Okay. Cross, you. Okay. You do notice that the grimoire has evocation magic, like emanating from it. It has a variety of spells within it.
Yeah, spells don't come up as magic.
This grimoire is magic, and it does
Okay.
have spells held in it.
Okay, alright.
Like, it's not just a text of how to cast the spells. It actually possesses It actually possesses like scrolls of casting.
Okay,
within it.
that's cool. That's cool. There's a couple people that have made that misconception, so that's the reason I've had to say that, because they still confuse detect magic with old school read magic.
No, this actually has like pages you could tear out and cast the spell itself.
Okay.
Whoever the
So, like-
previous owner was imbued spells within his book.
Okay.
You'd have to actually open it and read it to see which spells they are, but you do detect that there is magic within that book. On that note, you also detect a very powerful magic outside the tent.
Okay.
An enormous source of just magical energy.
I stick my head outside the tent and look around real quick.
About 25 feet from you is standing a white-haired man with full plate armor and a greatsword at his hip, just standing there waiting for you.
Okay. I quickly close the tent flap and pull my head back in. Guys, we're in trouble.
What?
We're
What
in
is
trouble. I don't know. There's some guy out there in heavy armor with a giant sword with an impressive amount of magical orb radiating off him.
Oh.
All right.
Alright, who's going first?
Yeah. I also scan the rest of the room real quick to make sure nothing on the table. The tables are glowing.
Okay, one second. I need to make
quick
sure of something.
question.
Yes.
Okay. Did Cross detect the portal that popped up over here?
The source of magic that portal emanated is now gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to ask. Thank you.
I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw real quick.
Damn, it has to be wisdom, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
Oh yeah.
Wisdom's my ward, so
That's my specialty.
Yeah.
22.
Okay,
12.
18.
and I am sorry for this.
Oh wait. But I can't be put to sleep, and I have advantage if it's charm.
Where?
It is neither of those.
Renegade.
Huh?
It is neither of those.
Okay.
Renegade.
That's not. That is me asking the DM if I need to roll again because of effects.
Yeah, it is neither of those.
Okay.
None of you make the DC save. Even Jupiter. None of you make the DC save.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously.
Hold on. Alright, we gotta find out. Okay,
Jesus.
go ahead, DM. What is this?
Oh crap.
You guys are frozen in place out of sheer fear. You guys were just hit by draconic presence. That is a dragon standing out there.
Oh shoot. Okay, that makes sense.
In a low grumble, you very clearly you hear the dragon say in common, "Step out of the tent. I have things to discuss with you." And you guys exactly are not in a position to deny him.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm quite compelled.
Feel like fighting that.
Shit.
Photorealistic Jupiter walks out. I look just like a real falcon, and just like, yes, sir.
Yeah. Echo actually kind of looks a little sheepish now for the first time in forever.
Alright, give me 5 seconds to move these things to the overlay, to the right layer. Oh, he needs to be a little bit closer. Hold on. He was standing right about here. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I just threw him on the map to have him.
Yeah.
As you guys exit the tent, you feel this urge to speak nothing but the truth. He has cast Zone of Truth around all of you, including himself.
I think we get a saving throw versus Zone of Truth.
You do. It is a charisma saving throw.
Oh,
Echo doesn't lie, so that doesn't really matter.
He does not know that.
Okay. I guess I could do the charisma saving throw.
Yep, charisma.
You said
sure.
okay.
Oh, you guys are getting so close.
Wait a second. Is Zone of Truth enchantment? Wait a second. Is Zone of Truth enchantment?
Let me double check. Let me check. It is an enchantment, yes.
Sweet. I get to throw again.
Okay.
But I only got an 18.
The save for an ancient dragon
Was a 21.
is a 20. You guys were so close.
Yeah, I think I got like what, a 16.
I was like, you guys actually rolled so good this time.
Dude, the fact that I rolled as high as I did on a charisma check and I have no charisma modifiers for my character. Except persuasion because I'm a druid.
Yeah, draconic presence on an ancient dragon is high as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, the minute you described him as, high magic power, full plate armor, and greatsword, I'm like, oh crap, we got a paladin.
In his mortal form, yes, that is the role he has taken on as a paladin. Because ancient silver dragons are lawful good. Yeah.
Oh, it's a silver dragon too.
He looks at the four of you and is like, first off, I want to know who killed my hexblade. Which I believe
Actually, I forgot who.
Jupiter finished him off.
Okay.
Jupiter steps forward and raises his hand. Would be me, sir. Because he still fears, so he is saying sir and everything to this dude.
You hear this bellowing laugh come from him. About time somebody took that damn workout. It was getting annoying.
Well, that relaxes Echo a little bit.
His
All
eyes
right.
are just dots with a straight line on his mouth. What?
Alright. I have one more question. Why do you reek of the stench of that sea witch?
So he's saying that to
Echo
me or
will.
all of us?
All of us, I'm assuming.
Okay.
All of you.
Yeah.
You
Echo
smell like you've been on her ship.
Echo will step forward and speak plainly. We were contracted. They were contracted. I was, however, plopped onto her deck in the middle of the ocean and had no other way to survive.
He knows his zone of truth is working, so he believes you. And he's like, none of you knew her story before joining.
No,
I just knew there was a boat in town that was hiring people, and it sounded like an adventure.
and I just got here.
You see him relax a little bit, but not fully. And he's like, he thinks for a moment. Looks across all four of you. And realizes this is not the first time you guys have been in the presence of a dragon. And asks,
Whoa.
he's like, did the blue one talk to her?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe?
Uh-huh.
We didn't actually see it, so I know something talked to her.
No, Echo knew who it was.
Echo knew? Okay.
It's the storm dragon, and he's a storm.
Gotcha.
thing.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
so.
Gotcha. He looks around and he's like, massive black storm before your ship, and then giant thundering boom, and then something magically appears on your deck. Does that sound about right?
That could be.
Echo's nodding. just he's just agreeing with everything. Echo's nodding.
Alright, so she is in contract with him. Well, seeing as how she stole his egg twice now, he has not figured out that it was her for some odd reason. And you guys no longer have access to your ship, as far as I can tell. You get the sense that he's kind of been watching over you guys this entire time.
What do you mean we don't have access to our ship? Well, oh, I knew it. She double-crossed us.
Wait, she's not there? I can go back to my job. Cool.
Well,
Jupiter's just kind of distraught and just very agitated. It's
well, unfortunately, I can't let you guys just go on about your lives and not deal with this sea witch. She's been a thorn in my side for the last 300 years. Unfortunately, due to the conclave, we dragons are forbidden from directly interfering. So, you four will do it for me. You get the sense that that was not a question.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you want us to go deal with the powerful sea witch? A bunch of guys that almost gotten eaten by like skeletons and some direwolves, and this giant orc with a killer maul.
Well, I'm not going to send you out there right now. I'm going to make you stronger. Which means you'll need a few things. He reaches into his side pocket and pulls out a handful of jewels. He hands them over. He starts walking toward you and hands them to whoever reaches out first. He really doesn't particularly care.
Alright, I reach out and take one.
reach out as well.
These jewels are not small. Each of them is roughly the size of a small plum.
So is
And
the dragon giving it to one per? Oh, sorry, lag there. Is it giving it to one person or one to like each person?
he's really just handing them out, so whoever wants them can take them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't particularly care.
Yeah, Jupiter's reaching out and reaching his hand out. Or
Yeah.
Talon.
So is Echo.
No, wait, Talon's.
There's a total of 5 gems: a ruby, a topaz, a sapphire, a emerald, and a diamond. These are all roughly the size of plums, and if you had to guess at their value, it would be several hundred gold each, just for the sheer size and cut of them.
Ruby, topaz, sapphire, diamond, and emerald.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just roughly typing it. Misspelling everything at this point, but
Detect magic. How long does that last?
10 minutes as long as I'm concentrating.
Okay. When these gems are handed out, you do not detect any kind of magic within them. They're just jewels. There's no enchantment.
Okay.
There's no enchantments on them or anything.
okay.
That should at least be enough to charge you to at least buy your own ship or charter onto another. And I have a few items I want you to go find. They should at least begin to help you take this sea witch down. He pulls out a scroll that is similar. It looks similar to the bounty you guys received, but it has a different seal on it. It looks similar to the paper that the bounty for your heads was written on, but it has a different seal on it.
Different contract name on the bottom too, or
You'll have to open it to find out. He hands it to you. if you give my name or this scroll to anybody in Neverwinter, you'll usually get a better price. Baldur's Gate is another story. He hands you a contract. It is a binding contract to service with Lunarius Stormdrake, who is the paladin of the White Dragon. Yes, he's a silver dragon who's paladin of White Dragon. Just go with it.
Okay.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Just go with it. Basically, reads out the terms as you are given a certain amount of money from Lunarius every month to fund voyages and quests given by the Order of the White Dragon. The signature on the bottom is Lunarius's. It's also written in Draconic, and it is very different than the one on the bounty letter.
Okay.
It's longer, and just the way it's signed is a different form of Draconic.
Echo would like to ask a couple questions. He's going to just step more forward towards the dragon. Echo's being ballsy as hell.
Yeah. As you get closer, you begin to just feel the amount of magic emanating from this dragon, and if you're not careful, it could physically hurt you.
Okay. Take another half step back. Not as bold as I thought.
Yeah, he is giving off a lot of energy.
Yeah. I'll take another half step back.
All right.
Excuse me, but I do have a few concerns, however.
Yes, young one.
So weird being called a young one and being 400.
Yeah, he's close to 4,000. So.
Yeah, I know dragons are ancient. It's weird hearing it from somebody else when you're old as hell. There's the matter of a few contracts. The one to the Kraken's Maw, and the bounty set on our heads.
Same thing if you could read the name on.
You hold out the scroll, and you're about 10 feet away from him. As you're holding out the scroll, you see him just lift his fingers, and the scroll comes out of your hand and into his. Basically cast telekinesis on it.
Yeah, used to that one already. Happened once. Once or twice before.
He opens it and is like... He kind of has a shocked look and kind of annoyed look all at the same time. He's like, that ballsy little bastard.
Mm-hmm.
The name is not important at the moment. Just know that this was not an ancient dragon, but a young dragon. Who wants to make his name known. But you can see that he is visibly annoyed that this dragon personally signed a contract to kill mortals.
Yeah.
Because that violates the conclave. As you guys heard a few moments ago.
Haha. Well, I'm glad I brought that up.
So you see that he's a little more annoyed, but he slowly goes back to being calm again. He looks out toward the mountains right behind this gate. And these mountains are tall, and as you see close to the peak, it's covered in snow. He looks up towards that peak and is like, I recommend you guys travel to Neverwinter, or even Waterdeep, and procure yourself a ship. Then the first thing I want you to go find is on the... Hold on, I don't remember the name. I totally just blanked on the name. On the island of Gondarlan, I totally blanked on the name. There is an ancient relic of mine. It is not a hexblade. He looks at Cross, who he feels like would ask that question. It is not a hexblade. It's just an ancient relic of mine.
Now, I'm just wondering how dragons always seem to lose their ancient relics.
Wait, do you say this out loud, or do you just think about it?
That's literally the thing I ask, because every book I read, there's always a dragon who misplaced his ancient relic. And I've always wondered why.
He puts his hand to his face, and it's just like, we have a lot of stuff. We're old. We forget things.
What? I think it's a legitimate question. I mean, I look around at the rest of the party. Haven't any of you ever wondered that same question?
Echo's just shaking his head in disappointment right now.
It's like, I'm old, I lose things,
Anything I've
and honestly, I haven't been back to that horde in the last 3,000 years. But I'm also too lazy to fly over there myself. So, I'm going to send you 4. Send you 4.
Prove our worth?
Yes, if you can find this specific relic, you guys should be able to at least stop her ship from causing too much damage. But you won't be able to stop her. Not yet. The relic you're looking for is it's an old crossbow. It's not meant to be wielded by immortals. But if you bring it back to me, I can make the necessary enchantments.
Okay.
Bring it back to me. You'll be rewarded. And you'll have a weapon that's very interesting to use. Now I have a question for you, Dro.
Echo straightens up a little bit.
Why am I sensing a very old magic from your bag?
Echo's a little more confused now because he
has
a lot of magical things.
I sense 3 sources. And for some reason they smell like the ocean. He's referring to the orbs.
To the orbs. I got it. Now it clicked. Echo opens his bag and just kind of shows it off, what's inside, without actually pulling anything out.
Again, you see him just lift his fingers as the 3 orbs leave your bag and just float over his hand.
Yeah.
Do you know what these are?
We have some sense of what they are, but not quite the ability of how to use them yet.
In simple terms, they are orbs of holding. You can spend time focusing on a spell and focus it into these objects. And they'll basically be free spells. You won't expend your mana this way. You won't get tired using them. But these specifically are single use. Once you use them, they'll shatter. It's unfortunate you didn't get better ones. He pushes them back into your bag.
Okay. Echo thanks the dragon for the information because that's going to be very useful later.
He looks at the 4 of you and is like, get yourself a ship, find the artifact, and I'll talk with you again shortly. He starts to walk away, Does anybody have anything else they want to ask?
Daddy, here, have press my ice cream.
Thank you, baby.
I don't think he answered the question about the Kraken's Mall contract.
Okay, what was the question about the Kraken Mall?
The fact that we've all signed a contract. It's already there. There's a contract there at that
Oh.
point.
He looks at the Kraken
What's-
Mall's contract and seems like that just looks like a work order. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing suspicious about this contract in particular. It looks like it's just a contract to work on the ship.
Well, that and it's probably not really valid if she took the egg and left port without us.
Yes, he agrees that at this point the contract is null and void.
Okay.
And she probably stole our weird land machine too.
Your alarm has not gone off yet.
Yeah, but I don't trust this woman.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, Echo would still like to go back to see if it's there.
I mean,
But that's
if
fine.
she could dimensional door, she can probably dispel magic too.
Love you. You will have to get there and find out.
Yeah. Echo has no other questions for the dragon at the time.
Alright, everybody good with the dragon?
I am good with the dragon.
As he begins to walk off, you feel the compulsion to tell the truth fade. You guys are no longer under that influence. As he begins to polymorph back into his dragon form, a massive form, he is standing now a good 100 feet from you. As he transforms, his tail lands right in front of your feet. He takes off. This giant sonic boom of his wings kicks dust up onto you. Not necessarily blinding you, but just pelting you with a little bit of gravel and whatnot. He takes...
Okay.
Okay, Cross.
As he takes off, I just look at the guys next, in both directions from me, and I just go, "Hey, am I the only one that wants to change his pants now?"
Jesus. Let's go, man.
Why?
Echo's still just shaking his head now in disappointment with him.
Troopers, flying heels.
As you guys watch the dragon take off, he turns toward the mountain he was looking at and disappears within the clouds.
Okay.
Serious? He disappears into the clouds?
Yes, baby.
Are you serious?
Alright. And you guys are walking back toward the land ship now, right?
Unless there is anything else of value that we gotta loot that we did not get looted after scanning the camp.
The only thing you guys didn't do was check to see if you could salvage the pelts from the direwolves.
Oh, I took
Where are
those.
direwolves?
No, you took the direwolf pelts.
Oh, the pelt.
You
took the
or
cloak.
You took the cloak. The direwolves that you killed are still on the field. You guys could skin them and salvage the pelts to sell.
Yeah, and that hand in the box didn't detect his magic, right?
No, the hand in the box was,
Okay.
was not magic. It was literally just a severed hand to prove a point.
Who was in there?
I was gonna check. I'm not sure if this is established. Like I said, if there was one, I was just gonna check and see if there was like an infirmary that has like medical supplies or potions that we could maybe use. Like,
No. This was literally just a
How
quick
could it
quick setup to get them back to the
Alright.
port.
okay, I've got nothing else that I need to do.
Alright. So, as we're
Stop.
trudging along to the wagon,
Stop,
so
baby.
does anyone else feel like this deal has gotten worse every day that we've been part of it?
Tell me,
This
man,
looks like,
those holes.
feels like my shorts are too big.
Has
Hate.
I think I'm getting. This just kind of just.
My egg.
This is
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind
I have to keep it warm.
Alright.
So are we salvaging the pelts of the direwolves or seeing if we can?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Taking some time.
Yeah, hey, Red, you're coming in really low.
Yeah,
Yes,
super
we
low.
are.
Red, you're coming in really
Okay.
low.
Alright, whoever is trying to salvage the direwolf pelts, I need a nature check.
Nature.
Yeah.
My egg is supposed to be on this side.
17.
Okay. You know your way around the anatomy of a wolf well enough that you just
How? There.
take the pelts right off the bone. Well, right off the flesh.
I think the anatomy book that I have on me.
Yeah, that helped.
Yeah.
The pelts are a little scorched, but regardless of that, they should still fetch a high enough price.
Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, little minion.
Alright. And now you guys are... So you can add 2 direwolf pelts to the loot channel.
Done and did.
Alright. You guys are walking back to the land ship now. It's about...
Actually, is there a chance we can rest in the camp before we do that?
Do you guys want to take a short rest or a long rest?
If we could take a long rest in the camp, because none of us have done so since we fought.
Alright. If you take a long rest, the alarm spell will end.
Well, my other question is, how long does it take us to get from the camp back to the wagon?
It's about 1,000 feet, so about an hour.
I think it'd be better for us just to go back to the wagon than hang around here. It's only like an hour walk.
Okay.
I was gonna say that, yeah, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right. I'm all for it.
Alright.
I was just curious.
You guys spend the better part of the next hour walking towards your land ship. Can I help you? Can I help you? Spends the better part of the next hour walking toward the land ship. And once you get to about 100 feet away from it, you start to see it, but the alarm starts going off.
Oh, that's not good.
As you guys get closer, you see this short person looking at it, just examining it, looking around it. Razi, do you want to describe how you look?
Honestly, I'm just looking around. I don't really have a specific way I'm looking. Just curious.
No, like what does your character
No.
look like?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant looking around because you said that. I'm sorry. Just you know, you can obviously see it's a dwarf because of the long beard, covered in armor with a warhammer strapped across his back. About 5'5".
That is
Brown
totally
hair.
not a dwarf.
It's a tall dwarf.
He's a tall dwarf.
Yeah.
I would go 5 foot is a tall dwarf. Yeah,
I mean, he's still probably built like a brick even at that height.
Yeah, 5'5" is like the average height of a human.
I'll adjust to do 4'8".
Okay, 4'8". That's dwarfish. That's still a tall dwarf. Okay. So you see dwarf armor. You have red hair, right?
Brown.
Brown?
He said brown hair.
Okay, brown.
Yeah.
Long brown beard. He is just looking around at the land boat. He is curious on why there is a boat in the middle of the forest. And he's also curious how it works. And then he hears the alarm going off and kind of takes a step back. And it takes a minute, but you guys close the gap. And you guys meet Daedalus?
Daedalus. Yeah.
Daedalus, okay.
Hey, what are you doing to our land boat?
I was just looking at it. It was here, and I've never seen one before.
Well, I mean, you kind of had to pull the brush and stuff off it to see it. You know, it's not like we parked it in the middle of the road.
Can I say I was curious?
Who are you?
Name's Daedalus.
Hello, Daedalus. I am
And
ready.
who do you work for?
Who do I work for? I don't work for anybody.
What is that?
But you don't work for anybody, but you're out in the middle of the woods looking at our land boat.
Well, I'm on my own kind of quest.
And what does that mean, sir?
As are we. Just move out of the way. As are we. Just move out of the way.
Why should I have to move?
Cause you're between us and our land boat.
Well, how do I know it's yours?
Well, what's your mission?
Oh, looking around, trying to find some famous sword.
Famous sword?
Yeah, every year my church sends out 5 acolytes to find more information about the sword of our god.
I take out the sword handle. Does it look like this?
I haven't heard anything about it being in pieces before, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look more at it. I have to ask some questions.
After taking a look at the sword really quickly, you notice this is not the sword you were sent to look for.
Nah, that's nothing. That's just junk.
Hmm. I put it back. And I look at the group. So, should we take him?
Well, we're not even sure where we're going, but to be honest, he's also the only guy in the middle of the woods we've met that hasn't threatened us or tried to kill us yet either.
That's why I asked.
Kill
Should we
you?
take him?
Why would I kill you?
Echo looks at Cross and just states, "We don't need another pet." Echo looks at Cross and just states,
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Who are you calling a pet?
Yeah, what do you mean by another pet?
Well, that's why he looked at Cross. Sorry, guys. Ultimate dick move makes me laugh.
I see a magic duel about to happen here in the next few sessions.
Cross just kind of shrugs it off at the moment. It's like, well, I mean, it would be rude of us just to leave him in the middle of the woods.
So, how you good with
It
water?
would be rude to take a man away from what his current mission. Well,
I will say at this point throughout the argument, Daedalus just happens to notice the warhammer that's strapped across his or strapped to Jupiter's pack.
Now that's a fine weapon.
I don't know. It
Okay,
smells of orc.
Jupiter takes it off and just kind of sets it down on the ground. Yes, this is the weapon used for a leader in an orc. It radiates elemental energy from it.
I kind of stroll up to it and start looking at it curiously.
oh yeah, Echo was supposed to check that out. My bad.
We got distracted by the giant dragon radiating his
Yeah.
awesomeness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit, I forgot about that thing radiating magic already.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to sit down and cast Identify on it yet. I just really just want to get in the land boat.
Yeah.
Listen, we're going back to town. Do you want to ride?
I don't see why not. Sure.
Okay. So after a quick shaking of hands, introductions, You guys pull the land boat out of the brush. Red, are you taking the driver's seat again?
Yep.
All right,
Uh,
Red gets in the driver's seat.
Uh,
Who's riding shotgun?
Echo will.
No
Okay.
problem.
I will sit in the back.
Echo's got some things to magically detect while he's driving, so.
Yeah, I was gonna sit in the back and do detect magic. Echo, do you have detect magic? Or not detect magic, I mean identify.
I think I can identify it if it's a magical weapon. Sorry, I'm making myself lunch, so I'm trying to bounce back and forth.
No problem. Yeah, but I will sit down and start casting identify on stuff as we're riding along.
You're not sharing.
While we're riding, Jupiter's just gonna take a sword out and just kind of tending to it, sharpening it, make sure it's making sure it's in good condition after the combat it's been through.
On that note, you do notice that your sword has gained a few chips in it from just missing, where you've kind of smacked the ground and smacked armor with it. It's still sharp and it's still sound, but you notice that there are a few chips in the edge of the blade.
Just kind of an he's just kind of annoys. Just because the fact that he's just still kind of perturbed at the fact that the whole thing with the siren and everything that after he finishes sharpening his sword, he's just gonna sheath it, put it away, and just meditate to himself for a little bit. Just kind of close his eyes and just sit there and just gather his thoughts.
Yeah. And how long does it take us to get back into town? Just curiosity.
You have to decide which town you're going to. But you have determined that going to Saltmarsh, which is the Siren's base of operations, is probably not the best idea.
No. And Winterfell seemed to be the best idea at the point, so.
Winterfell?
No, Neverwinter.
Winterfell. Oh, Neverwinter. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Waterdeep, Neverwinter, or Baldur's Gate
Yeah.
are the three closest port towns.
Yeah,
Well,
unfortunately I can't
Baldur's
see the
Gate's-
map at the moment.
Let me switch you guys over to the map. It is big, and you kind of have to zoom in to see the words, but yeah.
Echo's on that board.
Yeah,
so.
Neverwinter has the. You guys are up where Echo is.
Okay.
Where Echo's avatar is. That's where you guys are currently. Neverwinter is the closest, and it has a direct line of sight to where the dragon wants you to go.
Ah, there it is.
Waterdeep is south of. The X is Saltmarsh, because for some reason Saltmarsh is not on this map.
Hey, that's where I live.
Waterdeep is Red's hometown. And also potentially where you guys could get a ship for a lot cheaper, because Red knows a few people down there. And then Baldur's Gate is way to the south.
I know a guy there.
Right next to the Sea of Swords. And that's also where you guys saw the giant sinkhole in the ocean from Session 1.
Okay.
Well, like...
It's also the closest to the temple that you guys were exploring.
Yeah, like, if we go... Like, Neverwinter is Actually, Neverwinter is probably going to be just as bad as if we went to Waterdeep, because we don't really have a straight line to Neverwinter. We got to go around, like, the woods and everything. And there's roads in, like, a lot of small towns if we go to Waterdeep. And you said you know people there, Red?
Yeah, my dad shops there.
Well, that may make it better to go to Waterdeep.
Probably be able to find us. Probably know somebody who could sell us a good quality ship.
Yeah, and depending on who or which town you go to is if you guys can take a long rest in the land boat.
I think Waterdeep may be a better choice, and, it's bigger, so it's going to be easier for us to hide. And isn't Neverwinter really cold?
No.
It's called Never.
No.
Oh, Never.
No, that's like Greenland and Iceland. It's just the same.
Neverwinter's a port city. It's actually pretty warm. The mountains directly north of it are frigid as can all be. But
I'm thinking of Icelanddale. That's what I'm thinking of.
yeah, Isendale. There you go. And
Yeah,
that's actually
yeah,
I don't think Isendale's in the Forgotten Realms.
Yes, it is. It's right there.
It is.
It's the Sea of Moving Ice.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. I say Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
I say Waterdeep as well.
I don't have to vote
Because it looks like there's like Long Saddledale and Tiberbor and Amthar. There's like 2 or 3 small towns that look like they're along the way.
Yeah.
Unless
from where
unless
you
Reg-
guys are right now to Waterdeep will take you guys about 2.5 days to get there.
Okay.
unless Red is crazy, he's gonna take us off-roading through the Evermoors.
You know what? Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
Yeah, the Evermoors are basically swampland that you might not be too pleasantly. Okay, so you
Hey.
guys have decided on Waterdeep, yes?
Yeah, but we could still go to the swamps. I'm sure this thing has big rims on it.
No, because freaking bully balls.
All right. On the path to. Okay. Depending on the path you take, if you guys get on the main road, you have Longsaddle and Tribor on the way there, as well as Amphel, straight to Waterdeep. You guys will avoid Saltmarsh on the way. You guys won't have to deal with that unless the Kingsguard recognizes you, which you guys haven't done anything terrible to incur their wrath, so you should be fine.
Yeah, maybe we should just take the main road. Avoid the coast right now.
Okay. Do you guys want to stop at every town, or do you guys just want to kind of go the whole day and stop once you get somewhere?
I don't know about you guys, but I could use a drink in a real tavern to sleep in.
I would definitely agree.
All right.
I would agree.
Longsaddle is mainly a farming town. They really don't have much in the way of taverns. They do have a general store. Tribor has a few taverns, a general store, and a blacksmith. And you'll get to you can get to either one. You can get to either one of those in your first day.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys want to go to Longsaddle or Tribor?
The one with the tavern and the blacksmith.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so you guys, it will take most of the full day to get there.
Okay.
Do you guys want to take your long rest while there, or do you want to take it once you get to the tavern/hotel thing?
Echo will take his 4-hour meditation if he can, or actually sleep for 4 hours there,
Okay.
and then just read on the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it will take a full 8 to 10 hours to get there.
Yeah, so I'll identify everything that needs identified along the trip.
Okay. And that was just the.
Whatever we detected magic, what we found, so it would probably be the hammer and the book.
Yeah, the hammer and the grimoire. Okay.
Yeah.
The.
Well, after the 4 hours, Echo's just going to read the common and orc dictionary thing. So.
Okay. The Warhammer you found is a Warhammer of Thunder. It's a Warhammer +2, but the +2 is thunder damage. And that's thunder damage, not lightning damage.
Okay. And the grimoire.
The grimoire has a number of spells in it. It has the first half of it, or the first, I'll say 3/4 of the book, is notes on ways to cast the spells, what the spells do, and just basic instructions. There is instruction on Wall of Sand, Fireball, and Burning Hands, as well.
Is it what?
Okay, what?
No, keep going.
as well as there was an earth spell I put in there, but I didn't write it down. Hold on, 1 second.
Yeah. Is it like you said like the spells are imbued? Is it like the back pages are? Is it just like it's a bunch of spell scrolls that have been like stapled into a book?
Pretty much. But the book was made with fine enough paper and was written in with fine enough ink that the last few spells are actually those. It was like he was writing the book. It's like a journal, and he just imbued the spells into the last 5 or so pages.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So he was cheap and used his journal paper instead of buying actual paper for his spell scrolls.
Yes, he did. And
Okay.
there are a handful of pages missing, so you know he had used them.
Okay.
But yeah, there was a rock spell that I put in there, and I can't find the. I meant to put it in there. I probably didn't write it down.
That's okay. You'll find out what it is after we stop or something.
Yeah. So those are the 2
Yeah.
identified items.
After we stop or something.
Okay. So this hammer is magic. Like it hits extra hard, and then when you hit somebody with it, it can actually like ring in their head like thunder. So I hand it back to Red since it's heavy for him the carry.
That's what it was. It has the spell for erupting earth. It doesn't
Okay.
it doesn't have it written in there. It's one of the spells you can pull out and cast.
Okay,
So, like-
erupting earth is.
Basically, you can't learn it by reading about it, but you can cast it from that page.
Okay.
They're basically they're spell scrolls in the back of the book. So you just
But there
Yeah.
is a description to where you could learn how to cast Wall of Sand.
well like the thing is like if you find a spell scroll, you just pay the ink cost and you copy it.
Okay.
I think you got to make a check. I can't remember if I make a check at 5th or it's something else I make the check in. I got to look that back up.
Well,
but,
Echo's
like-
going to try to get these 2 grimoires to match up at some point.
That's a lot of ink.
Yeah, but that's fine. I said at some point, instead of carrying like 5 different grimoires, he wants just one. At some point, though. So.
Yeah. But yeah, like these will work like spell scrolls, and then this is actually inscribed in the book and like a regular. He actually wrote the spell in here and created the scroll for this one. I think it was the Wall of Sand you said.
Yeah, Wall of Sand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that all in loot?
I'm typing in the spells now. Wall of Sand.
Yeah, there was Wall of Sand, Erupting Earth, Fireball, Burning Hands, and I think that was it. Yeah.
And I can't spell erupting for some reason. I'm doing a bad spell day. No, I'm spelling it right. What the hell? Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It is all good.
I'm having a bad dyslexic day today, I guess.
Not as bad as mine's been, but I look over at the dwarf after getting
Hey,
the stuff
Unicorn.
identified. So you're out looking for a sword.
Yeah, in some of our most ancient texts, it described an ancient sword that was wielded by our god in the past that was lost somewhere in the world. And again, every year, our church decides to send their top 5 acolytes out on their own type of quest to either find more information or see if they can find the weapon itself.
Top 5 acolytes, huh?
Yep.
I take it you just made the cut then.
No, I was quite near the top. I wouldn't say number 1, but
Echo's just an insulting dick. Sorry, guy.
So do you know anything about like the Order of like the White Dragon?
You would know about the Order of the White Dragon just because it's another paladin it's another religious order. But you don't know too many specifics. You have heard of it, but you don't know anything specific about it.
So I know of it, but not much more than that. Why do you ask?
Just wondering. Oh, we had those rocks. Can anyone tell the value of rocks?
Uh, I couldn't. I don't even know how to answer that one. Shit. I couldn't. I don't even know how to answer that one. Shit.
Does anybody have a jeweler's kit?
No.
Okay, so you guys really don't have a way to guess the exact value, but judging just by the size of them, and one of them being a diamond, you know that they're pretty expensive. Um, and cross casting you cast identify twice. Do you still have enough pearls to?
It's a focus, so it isn't actually consumed.
Okay.
If the items actually consume, it tells you. Else, it's considered a focus.
Okay.
I was just kind of using the pearl as kind of a conduit for focusing it.
Yeah, it uses a focus.
Okay.
Okay,
Gotcha.
cool.
Gotcha. All right. I was just reading over it.
Yeah, no. Back in the day, you had to actually crush the pearl and drink it with a thing of wine. Now it's a focus.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that part. I'm like, Okay. So we've identified everything. Everybody except Red has successfully taken a long rest because you guys have just been chilling.
Yeah.
Once Red gets to town, he can take his long rest in the tavern. He's been driving for like 10 hours. He's tired.
Yeah, I could imagine. He's been driving a lot more than that.
Yeah, I think he's the only one that's got like proficiency in vehicle.
I mean,
Yeah.
other people can drive. You just guys might stall out once in a while. You guys make it to the Tribor. There are 2 taverns of note. There is the Tribor Inn. It serves wine, whiskey. It's kind of like an old saloon. And then there is the Three Witches Hut. Hi. I literally just saw Echo like drop down.
Well, I was going over to Waterdeep.
Okay, that's fine. There's the Three Witches Inn, which seems to double as both a bar and a alchemical shop. They sell a few potions as well as drinks. They do not offer boarding, so there's no rooms there. There is a blacksmith shop directly beside that. And then there is a general store down toward the end of the road near one of the farmhouses.
Okay. And did one of the taverns have lodging or no?
Yes, the Tribor Inn. It has rooms available. The Three Witches Hut, it does not offer rooming, but they do offer drinks and various potions.
I'm trying to remember clearly. We skinned you skinned the direwolves, right?
Yeah, we have the direwolf pelts.
You guys have a total of 2 direwolf pelts and 2 regular wolf pelts. And a direwolf cloak.
Yeah. Do we want to try to hawk some of these pelts and some of the things we found to cover like our travel expenses? Because I doubt anyone in this town's gonna have enough money to buy the force to sell any of those gems to.
Yeah. Echo just looks at the group and just, we only need 1 room right now. Red, you get some rest. You've been driving too long. Let the rest of us take care of this all.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you guys get there. It's just before sunset. The general store, the blacksmith, and the taverns are still open.
Okay. And how much would it cost for a room in their inn?
The Tribor Inn is relatively cheap. It's 2 silver per room.
Okay.
All right, so Red is gonna go take his long rest. What is everybody else doing?
Uh, I think the one who needs to get his sword fixed would go to the blacksmith.
I was actually just about to say I was gonna double check and say this is the town that's got the blacksmith, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we picked this one, because it had the blacksmith and the taverns.
Right. I'll go ahead and head to the blacksmith to see if I can get my sword repaired.
Echo and whoever else is willing to tag along will start hawking a lot of these goods that we have.
At the
Because
general
we
store?
have a ton of cutlasses that we don't need.
Okay. The general store won't buy the weaponry, but the blacksmith might. The general store will definitely buy the pelts, though.
Yeah. Do we still get that dagger, or did we successfully sell that thing?
No,
We
the
still
guy
have
was
it
the guy
because
was
they
trying to rip
were-
you off with the dagger, so you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah,
kept
and
that.
Echo just took it and walked out. He wasn't
How
gonna
much is
deal
that
with
thing
it.
worth? I can't remember how much.
It's worth roughly 100 gold.
Yeah, it's been a
getting-
little while.
Yeah, but getting somebody to pay that price has to be like a collector. Otherwise, people are going to try and get a lower price off. Try and get you to buy it for a lower price.
So, like, does the town have like a headman's hut, or like a magistrate, or like
This
like
is
a local lord?
This is a pretty simple town. They have a sheriff. He's pretty much the guy in charge.
Okay. Hey, Echo, give me that knife. I need to go try something here real quick.
Alright, Echo will hand over the knife.
All right. Echo, I got like 10 gold left. If you can go, no, I give him like 10 gold. If you can go while you're trying to hawk that stuff and buy some herbs and stuff, so I can summon Walter back after him getting slaughtered in the camp.
Okay.
I'm
And
gonna
Echo's
go.
keeping track of all the copper and the gold and the silver that we end up collecting, just so you guys know.
How much did we end up in total?
It was 1,500 copper, 5 gold, 100 silver, and we only spent 5 silver for that room, right?
2 silver. 2 silver.
I just want to make sure it's 5 silver for that room.
It's 2. 2.
2 silver. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. We actually get to keep the money finally.
Yes, this
Yeah,
money is yours.
That's why Echo's keeping track of it at the moment.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, since I'm heading to the blacksmith, if you guys, I could probably see maybe if the blacksmith, see if I can sell those cutlasses and give it to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then I'll just keep.
just remember your sword is magic, so repairing it might be costly.
True, because if
I'm just saying I'm keeping
Hill
track of the
has-
money. I'm not saying I'm keeping it, guys, just so you know.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
If, like,
I know what you mean.
no, if we have a general party pool, that's fine. Or do we just want to divide the pile out? I don't care how. Or do we want to hawk everything and then just decide what we want to do when we get back to the tavern?
That would be fine. If you guys want to keep track of your own money, I can do it too. I don't mind being secretary for this.
Yeah, I don't care how you guys want to do it because we're all kind of stuck in this together. I look over at the dwarf, and I guess we're giving that guy a ride until we get the water deep if he wants to come along.
I mean, I've got nothing better to do.
Or you could just simply cast his lots in with us.
Honestly, he looks like you cast like holy magic, right?
Of a specific sort, yes.
I gotta look back at everybody else and like pull them into a huddle. Guys, we've almost died like 4 times. I don't care if we have to hire a holy guy so we stop dying.
Yeah, having 2 healers on the team would probably work, because I mean, I've got like 2 healing spells, but I've only got like 2 spells. So,
Well, I mean, like, yeah, no offense to you at all, Jupiter. Like, your new abilities you've learned to wield the powers of nature are amazing, but you're still a novice. This guy's actually trained in it, so he might be able to keep us alive a little better. And it's a dwarf. How often do you hear about a dwarf backstabbing you? And then I look over at Echo.
What do you want from me?
I honestly take no offense to that. Any experience is better if it means keeping alive and living to fight the next day. So yes, I'm in agreement.
Echo will
Okay.
clap him on the back and just say, "Well then, welcome for casting your lots into the crew."
So,
And to do
yes.
that, Echo kind of has to bend down a little bit because Echo's like what 6'6" or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
Echo has to like get down, like bend at the knees to slap you on the back.
hey guys, wait, before we say too much, and let's give him that hammer just as a sign of like, all right, you're gonna work from us. Here's your down payment. That way, at least we have a way to make him kind of hang out with us for a while. Because
The
there's
hammer of
nobody
thunderclap.
there's no one who's gonna pay any close to what the thing's worth around here. At least we can kind of like give it to him so like he can hit stuff with it and kind of string him along to keep working for us for now.
Yeah, Echo agrees.
Do you have a problem with it, Red?
I don't have a problem with it, no.
Jupiter, you fine with this?
I agree as well. I think it's a fair trade-off.
Okay. Mr. Dwarf, Daedalus, right?
Arr.
Oh, well, welcome to us, and as a down payment to show, you work for us, while you're traveling around with us and everything, you can use this wonderful hammer that Red's holding, because it is way too heavy for me.
Well, I appreciate that. I would definitely like to take more of a look at that hammer, but I must mention that I am a holy man, so if I join you, that means everything that comes along with being a holy man.
You're.
I mean,
I
Well, good.
forgot.
Means we're not paying for a bunch of drinks for a dwarf.
well, no, he's a holy dwarf. Like, I think half their religion involves us drinking.
Does it?
Yeah, actually, his is a god of war, so drinking is involved with that.
It
Okay.
definitely is.
Damn it. Well then, scratch that idea.
Just means no mischief or chicanery.
We just gotta cut back on the theft, that's all.
Actually, we haven't stolen anything.
Not yet.
Well,
And we are technically no longer pirates because of
yeah, that's good. That's a good point. Well, were we technically grave robbing when we were in the temple?
Yeah,
We
but
aren't
that's
gonna- we aren't gonna talk
archaeology.
about that. We aren't going to talk about that. That was archaeology.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
that was actually
archaeology.
archaeology. All right, I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. All right, I'm gonna go see if I can hawk this knife real quick.
Okay. Dwarf, where are you gonna go? I'm heading to the general store. We got one to the heading off towards blacksmiths.
Okay,
I'm gonna
Jupiter.
explore the town a bit, see if there's, anything I can find that I might interest.
All right.
Yeah, apart from the general store, the two taverns, and the blacksmith, there's a couple farmhouses and then the sheriff's office,
Okay.
which is where Cross is heading.
Yeah, I'm gonna head to the sheriff's office. Just take care of the other guys real quick. I'm checking in on Kayla.
Okay. So let's start with Jupiter heading to the blacksmith.
Did they give me did they agree to let me take the cutlasses and sell them for
Yes.
gold and everything?
You
like
have
that?
the
Yeah, you're
Okay,
taking the
just making sure.
cutlass and the
Any
broken
weapons we're
great
selling,
sword,
Period.
old leather bracer, and you're taking one ancient dragon scale. I think would be
All
best.
All right.
So 4 cutlasses, a great sword, and an ancient. You said an ancient blue dragon scale?
Yes.
Yeah, one of them. Just one of them,
Cool.
though.
Yeah. All right, that's fine.
Okay, so we'll start with Jupiter. Jupiter, you walk up to an open gate blacksmith shop. Everything is out in the open. There's no interior. The only interior there is like his little, his bedroom and where he would keep the money. You see this stout little dwarf, about 4'6", a little shorter than Daedalus, hammering away at his sword on the anvil. As he quenches it, he pulls it out, takes a wire brush, brushes it off, looks at the shine on the sword, and happens to see you in the reflection. He turns around and is like, "Ah, an Edacroc. I haven't seen one of you in a while. Erakoko? I don't know. I'm gonna stop butchering that name right now.
Arakocra.
I'm gonna stop butchering that name now.
Bird folk will be fine. Either way. But,
And he's like, I haven't seen one of your kind in a while. What can I get for you?
well, aside from, as a well, kind sir, I definitely have much business for you. I have some items to sell for you, and I was wondering if you could do some repairs on this. And I take out my sword and I hand it to him. I hand it to him for him to take a look at, as I take a look at some of the chips and everything like that.
He
It's a
he
bit
takes
battle-worn,
the
and
sword.
It's a little bit more than I could actually. So what now?
He takes the sword and looks at it, kind of drowning out what you're saying next, and looks up at you, cutting you off mid-sentence, and is like, "Who built this flimsy piece of crap?" It is clearly not what he wanted to see, nor is he happy about just seeing a flimsy blade. He's like, this sword's got no weight on it. No wonder you've been chipping it.
Well, if I'm going to be quite honest, I actually a sword that I built at the monastery that I trained at.
Oh, that's why. Amateur skill, I see. Well, it is enchanted, which gives it a little more girth, but this thing will break on you soon, lad. Can I offer you something better?
Well, he actually is kind of curious. What is it? Well, what would you? What partake would you have?
He looks you up and down, and is like, I have a feeling you're good with a sword, but I'm betting those claws pack more of a punch than that sword ever did. He turns around and opens a small chest. He pulls out a pair of bracers with metal knuckles across the front. He tosses them up to you. He's like, try those on.
Alright, Jupiter puts them on. Well, and as out of character, if I remember correctly, I know the fact that technically since I'm multi-classing as a druid, I know they can't wear like metal armor, but are the bracers like full metal?
No, the braces are leather and basically have like brass knuckles on them.
Okay, I was just double checking that. Okay, yes, I try them on.
You see him pick up a shield and it's a tower shield that's as big as he is. He plants it in the ground and is like, "Go on, give it a few swings."
Just kind of cocks his head. Sure.
Go ahead and roll for just an unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike. All right. Set up on. I thought I had that. Be just like I thought I had that set on my attack list. It's basically just like a regular, be like a regular D20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your
D20 plus 7, I think, for you.
it's a D20. Yeah, it's D20 plus your proficiency modifier plus dexterity or strength, whichever one is higher, as your monk.
Well, yeah, because the fact that I've got martial arts, when I do stuff that's involving strength, I use my dexterity. So I've got a +3 with proficiency, plus 5 with dexterity.
You have a plus 8.
So this would be a D20 plus 8. All right, so let me do the D20. We'll add the plus 8 to that. I should be. Oh, actually, I can add that to the D20 rolls. That 8 and roll 23.
All right. You rear back and give a good solid punch. Go ahead and roll damage real quick.
Ooh, all right. So.
And add a +1 to it.
+1.
Yeah.
Okay. So unarmed strike, that's a D4 plus 5 plus 12 with it. Okay, so it's going to be a +6 instead of a +5. So 4 plus. Wait, I thought I added the. Oh, hold up.
All right, plus
Sorry,
6. That's
ignore
8
that.
damage. As you go to
No, I put-
swing
I-
it. Yeah, you do 8 damage
Sorry, my
total.
bad.
As you go to swing in, you land straight in the center of that shield, and there is now a nice concave hole in the shield. The dwarf looks around and is like, I think those will work just fine for ya.
Jupiter just looks impressed at these, like at the size of this, and I mean, well, you definitely have an eye for quality. I mean, you definitely have an eye for quality.
Son, when you've been doing this as long as I have, you know what a man really needs in his life. You seem to also be one with nature. Yes, I sense
feel like
I
it's-
sense the nature magic on you.
I feel like that dwarf just hit on him.
Just a bit. I'm going with that. Yeah, just a bit. He looks around and pulls out a log of yew wood. And to druids, yew is very sacred. He pulls out a log of yew wood and looks at your bracers. He's like, I could imbue a little defense into those with this here wood. And if I'm correct in saying so, you're also a druid in some practice, right?
Fairly new, but yes, you are correct. You have an eye for these things.
Aye. Let me see. If I imbue some of this into your gauntlets, I would let you use your spells just fine, I believe. Alright. Let me have the gauntlets back and I'll do that. Now, let's talk about price for you. You said you had some items to sell to me. What have you got there
That I
already?
do. Well, I show him I set in front of him the 4 cutlass, the great sword, and if I'm using this term correctly, the icing on cake, as they say, and I show him the blue dragon.
Do you have the bows as well?
Yeah,
The
I
what?
was giving him all the weapons. I just try to give him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could tell you
There's,
everything
what
that's
was it?
in the.
You have two
Thing.
bows and a broken bow as well.
We have actually 4 bows. One of them is broken.
Okay.
2 of them were from the previous encounter in the hunt.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. We also have a few extra daggers and orc weapons, but that's about it.
He looks around at everything on the table. He's like, well, I can smelt this down and get some usable metal, but I have no use for these. The dragon scale, however, that's a very interesting item. Where did you get a dragon scale of that size? I know you didn't punch a dragon for that.
He just he just kind of looks up. It's like, well, I'm flattered that you would think that I'm that strong, but I am neither that foolish. In our experiences, we came across some bandits, and one of them had this on him.
All right.
So he was apparently either very lucky or very foolish in meddling in the affairs of dragon.
For you are crunchy and tastes good and catchy.
He looks
Dang
at
it,
all,
I'm
he
okay,
looks at
now I
all the
should
items
realize.
and kind of does some quick math in his head. And he's like, for the gauntlets and imbuing the yew wood into them would normally cost you about 75 gold pieces. With all the weapons and that beautiful dragon scale, I could do it for 10 gold pieces and 10 silver pieces.
All right, I
But-
definitely got enough of that.
But if you throw in that magic sword of yours, I can do it for free.
Great. Well, I definitely have enough gold. Would I be able to have enough gold for him to fix the sword and have the bracers?
If he fixes the sword, it's going to be about 75 gold.
75 gold.
75.
75 gold.
Because it's an
with the
enchanted sword.
bracers.
It's gonna cost a
Right,
lot to
right.
repair it.
Right.
But if you trade him the sword and all the other loot you're giving, he'll give you the bracers and imbue them for free. Or you can just keep your sword as is and get the bracers for 10 gold, 10 silver.
I kneel as I kneel down and I hold my hand out. Sir, you have yourself a deal. And I hand him over the sword. Jupiter hates to part with it, but if it doesn't have much longer and everything like that, it's a choice that he has to make. It's like he'll take the bracers and I'll hand him the sword and whatever the items that he had there. Like, would I get any gold? Like how much? I think. Because I know that with all the weapons and everything like that, it's going to be a lot of gold, and I know we're going to kind of divvy that up between the party.
He'll give you another 3 gold, but he took everything as trade for your gauntlets. Because honestly, you weren't going to get that much out of it. The dragon scale was the expensive thing.
Getting the dragon scale was kind of a group effort. I didn't.
He looks at it and is like, the dragon scale was bigger and more perfect than he initially thought. So he pulls out a bag of gold and hands it to you. He's like, here's the extra for the dragon scale. It has about 15 gold in it.
You want me to add that to the party loot, or?
Yeah, add that to the party loot.
Okay. I mean, I only personally have 25 gold on me, so I didn't care about keeping track of all this.
Yeah. Just add it to the party loot, and you guys can divvy it up once you get back to the tavern or whatever.
Alright.
Once everybody's done with their shopping.
Right. I'll hand him the gold, or I'll hand him the sword. I'll take the bag of gold and I'll shake his hand. Pleasure doing business with you.
He has the gauntlets and the yew wood in his hand. He's like, "Alright, come back in the morning and I'll have these ready for you."
We agreed. Agreed. Jupiter just kind of stands up, puts it open palm, fist on the hand, and just kind of bows to him, and just walks out.
All right. Okay. Next is Red's in the tavern sleeping. Echo.
Yeah, Red should.
Echo is at the general store to sell stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Echo, you enter the general store, and there are 2 people of note inside. One is a gentleman with long black hair. He is wearing what looks to be farmer's clothing, but he has a pendant around his neck that looks very rich for how he's dressed. It's got a red ruby in the middle with gold overlay. It looks very expensive for the rags he's wearing. The other person is a young lady in a more proper dress. She looks like she's worth her weight, but she has a strange deformity on her face. You can't exactly place it, but her face definitely does not look human, elven, or otherwise. Just something is off and you can't quite place what. The lady comes up to you and is like, "Welcome to our store, sir. How may I help you?"
I'm here to sell some of our goods we've gathered.
Oh, righto, sir. We might be able to buy some of them, depending on what it is. We don't have a lot here, but we might even be able to work out a trade. She walks behind the counter, lays out a cloth so none of the items dirty up her counter or get anything on them, such and such. She
Okay.
pulls out a small chest, sets it on the table, doesn't open it yet. The gentleman walks behind you with a set of scales, a jeweler's kit, and a magnifying glass just to inspect items.
Okay.
Like, it looks
Echo-
like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely already seems like it to me too. So Echo will set out the direwolf pelts, the other 2 furs that they've gathered, the random bit of leathers, the
Okay.
bracers, and most of the useless items that they don't necessarily need.
They look at the bracers first, and the gentleman flips it over, kind of opens them up, and you now notice that there is Orcish written in the gloves. And the gentleman's like, "Oh, I guess Captain Greentusk is finally dead. I haven't seen these in a minute." He wraps them up and sets them back on the table. Like, he knew he knows Orcish, and he knows who those bracers belong to.
Okay.
So
So we pretty much just stated that we killed him.
You stated that he is dead, and you found his bracers.
Yeah.
They don't know you're responsible yet. They take the 2 wolf pelts, which are very clean. The half orcs knew exactly how to clean the wolves when they were hunting them. They're very clean. They're very proper. There are no bullet holes, no burn marks. Very clean kills. So these are very high ticket items. So they set those over onto a special place behind them, trying to be like, these are worth it. We're definitely going to pay for those. The direwolf pelts, much bigger than the wolf pelts, but they do have singe marks throughout them. It was not a very quick or clean kill. They notice it and like, we can fix this, right? We could just brush this out. They look at each other, have a quick conversation. They're like, okay, we'll buy these 2. Set them over with the wolf pelts. The various leathers and strips of leather that you guys have, they trade glances like, we could trade this back to the blacksmith, couldn't we? Decide to buy those. And what else did you lay out?
I think that's most of the items that we've kind of just randomly gathered.
And
Yeah.
you guys have the Direwolf Cloak. You wanted to keep that, right?
That's actually up to the rest of the group. I'll see what they want to do with it first.
Okay.
What do you think, guys?
What about us? Or what about keeping or selling the Direwolf Cloak?
Yeah.
Would it have anything that'd be able to help us, or is it just like a normal cloak?
It's like a normal cloak, but if you're unarmored, if you're not wearing any armor, it does give a +1 to your AC.
Well, that'd be more helpful for Echo, so.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I've already got 19, and I don't think that the DM would like me, not the metagame or out of character. I don't think he'd want me to walk around with an armor class of 20.
No.
Plus,
19 is
plus,
already.
if I remember correct.
I mean, Cross has got an armor class of 23 if conditions are right.
Yeah, if all spells are cast.
Yeah, but plus, if I remember correctly, druids don't necessarily wear the pelts of animals. If I'm correct.
No.
It depends on the
not
druid.
all.
I was gonna say.
It depends on the druid.
I was gonna say that's why I wanted to double check.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's.
But yeah.
There is actually, I think it was either a homebrew, but it may have very well been homebrew. But they actually do wear the skins and use the bones of animals.
Yeah, they prefer natural armor, like hide and leathers and things like that.
Okay, so they're basically kind of like Native American.
Yeah.
As long as the animal had a purpose for dying, then they will use it. If it was just a kill for no good reason, then it kind of is frowned upon.
Right. They didn't believe in hunting for sport.
Yeah, it was purpose. Like, like Avatar,
Right.
the blue people.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Like I said again, I just wanted to double check and make sure of it, because. But yeah.
Okay. Did you guys want to try and do the jewels or no?
Not in a small town, personally.
Okay. You see the gentlemen start to weigh how much the pelts weigh, how much leather they have. And what was the other thing? The bracers. And he just checks the bracers to see if they're still in decent enough condition. He could try to sell them to a collector or whatnot. After a few minutes, and after a quick discussion with his partner, wife, whatever, you're not sure, they pull out a bag of gold and silver and copper, and they place out 15 gold pieces, 5 silver pieces, and 14 copper pieces. And they're like, we can offer you this for all of these items, or we could make a trade on some items here in the store that you might need.
And Cross said that he needed some components, right?
Yeah, he needed some incense, 10
need
gold
10
worth of magical components.
I need 10 gold worth of incense and charcoal.
Okay. Echo relays that over to them. Goes, and I'm gonna need some incense and charcoal as well.
Well, charcoal we have a bit of. I'm not sure how much. I can go check in the back. Incense, however, is very expensive here. I have a little bit. I'm not sure if it'll help you though. And she pulls out a small tinder box and opens it up, and it has about 2 gold worth of incense.
Okay. And then how much charcoal did they end up having?
They actually had a decent sized bag of charcoal that you can easily get 10 gold worth out of.
Okay. Echo looks at it, goes, well, incense isn't quite as abundant as I was hoping. Though if you throw that in with the charcoal, I'm more than happy to take 10 gold off of the price that you've offered.
Alright, sir. And is there anything else in the shop we could help you with? We have a little bit of jewelry. We have some supplies for camping and exploring.
Do you happen to have any magical items here?
I don't believe any of our items are magical, but you're free to look around. You do not get a sense innately of anything magical. If you go and look around, you might get a better sense.
Alright, well, Echo will take this trade first, so there's not a deal just hanging in the air.
Right. Alright, she
And
hands
it ended
over
up being-
5 gold pieces, 5 silver pieces, and 14 copper pieces.
Okay. Alright. Awesome. And then I'll take a look around the place.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay.
Okay.
16.
Throughout the store, you really don't notice anything until you come to a section in the back. And there is a couple of books on the shelves. One book, as you're just running your fingers across the spines, just like perusing them, one catches your eye and you begin to sense a little bit of magical presence from it. You pull the book off, and it's another like dictionary kind of book. But instead of having common to a specific language, the pages look blank until you start speaking. and as you speak, the words come onto the page in different languages. This is a book of comprehend language.
Okay.
This is also a very expensive item if people know what it is.
Okay.
So you can take the book up to the counter and see what they know.
All right. And how much for this journal?
Oh, let me see. Good binding. Blank pages. Since they have no magical ability, the words do not appear for them.
Okay.
Good page quality. I'll say 5 silver pieces would do it.
All right. Echo will take out 5 silver from that and hand it over happily.
Alright, sir. Is there anything else we can do for you today?
The rest of my crew might be by after we get some rest. Do you have any hours of operations that we could be aware of?
Well, we close about an hour after the sun sets, but apart from that, we open as soon as the sun rises.
Thank you. And
Alright.
Echo will just nonchalantly walk out at this point.
Alright, thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Alright. So
Holy shit, I can't believe I did that so calmly.
okay. So the Book of Comprehend Magic.
Okay.
You have to be able to read the language to read what it says. So you would be able to read, like, what do you know, Elvish and Primordial?
I'll have to look really quick.
I know somebody knows Primordial.
I know Primordial, Infernal, Giant, Elvish, Dwarf, and Common.
Okay, so you would be able to read those languages. But if you had, like, say the name of that's in Draconic, if you read that, if you place that page on the book while you have it open, it would show up in Common or one of your languages that you spoke.
Okay.
So you can kind of cheat the system with that.
All right.
But you have to either have it physically written down and placed on the book, or be able to at least pronounce it for it to appear on the book.
Okay. Could I ask a question?
Okay.
Was the journal a good idea to say?
That was great. I was like, it's blank. Yes, do it. That was great.
I was freaking out over that. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, they have no magical ability, so they thought it was literally just a blank journal.
Yeah. Oh god, that was clever. Holy shit, I pulled that out of my ass real quick.
Okay. Rozzy, you're exploring town?
Yep.
What are you looking for?
Honestly, I'm just kind of exploring, asking general questions. Nothing too exciting.
Okay. What you've gathered from people in town, they are not fans of pirates, but you show no sign of being a pirate, so you're fine. They know of the Siren. They keep referring to her as a sea witch, which you know as 90% of people have. They also know of Captain Greentusk of the Greentusk Pirates, or Captain Stormtusk of the Greentusk Pirates. They have not heard the rumor that he is dead. They believe he is still alive up in the mountains. And you do pick up a little bit more information about the Order of the White Dragon. There happened to be a paladin who was resting in the town who was a member of the Order. And basically, they believe their god was an ancient white dragon who died recently, and they are looking for his remains. That is basically what the Order is all about right now. Or at least from what you gather. And I believe that's everything until you head back to the tavern. Alright, I believe Cross is the last one.
I believe you are correct.
Alright, Cross, as you make your way to the sheriff's office, it's a nicer building than most in the town. There are jail cells on the bottom level. There's a prisoner in one who's just napping. He doesn't look hostile or anything. He looks like he was just put in jail for some petty crime and is just waiting his time. At the desk across from that cell is a man in... He's kind of got like a leather jacket on. Looks to be like he used to be a pirate. He kind of has that... He has that feeling of all the pirates you've met so far. He just has that sense about him.
Okay.
He has a tricorn hat on. He's just sitting back reading a book. And when he hears the door shut, he looks up at you. For a second, you swear his eyes flashed yellow. Like a bright, vibrant yellow. But once you get a closer look, they're just normal green.
Mm-hmm.
And he greets you and is like, "What can I do for you, lad?"
Yes, I'm looking for the local sheriff or magistrate.
I be the sheriff.
Sir, I've come across something that a man of your station would find very nice and useful in promoting yourself among others. I kind of pull the knife out and set it on the desk. It's a very rare and valuable antique blade we found. And among the upper classes, I know many would catch the eye and raise their station to have something in such their possession.
He looks at the knife, looks back up at you, and just begins to laugh. He's like, son, you got the wrong idea. I'm just a humble sheriff. I just work here. I just keep the peace. We have no real magistrate here. The closest thing we have to a magistrate is the king of the Saltmarsh area down in Waterdeep.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have seen a knife like this before. How did you come across this by chance?
Out traveling. Me and my traveling companions have come across it.
Traveling down near Boulder's Gate?
I think that's maybe where we were out. Where we were out of.
Alright. Because you don't know what this blade is, I'm gonna let you go. Take the blade to the king down in Waterdeep. He'll be happy to take it off your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was originally his.
Oh, that's quite useful to know, and I appreciate it deeply. I pick it up and slip it back in my pouch. And you have a good day, sir.
Have a good one, son. And he sits back in his chair, picks his book back up, and just hanging out.
Okay, I will head back to the tavern.
Alright. And Red has been sleeping, or is sleeping. He's got about another 7 hours of his long rest. I guess everybody has made their way back to the tavern now?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Everybody's made their way back to the tavern. As you guys are entering the tavern, you guys notice the shops are closing up. The blacksmith is still working because he has his job to finish for Jupiter, but everything else kind of closes up. Even the potion store across the street closes up for the night. The tavern that you guys enter, the Tribor Inn, they have a selection of various whiskeys, of various beers. They do have a Neverwinter Ale that is supposed to be very cooling and yet very strong at the same time. And that's advertised on the wall. Neverwinter clearly wants to sell their ale. There's a couple empty tables. There's some tables with patrons and farmers who are just relaxing for the evening. What do you guys want to do?
I will get some dinner and sit down and wait for everybody else to show up.
Same here. I'm gonna grab myself something to eat and something to drink. Cause, whoo, what a day!
Alright, the menu is pretty bare. They have rabbit stew, potato stew, or they have some wolf steak, where they've killed wolves and chopped that up to make steak. Not exactly something most people do, but they do have a wolf problem around town. And they also have just an assortment of vegetables from the farms, carrots, potatoes, radishes that you can order.
Would they take the uncooked rabbits?
If you wanted to cook them and eat them yourself, yes, but they would not take them just for general use. They would take them and cook them for you if you wanted that as your dinner.
Well, guys, there you go. You got some rabbit.
And they wouldn't charge you for the meal then. It would just be, you brought the food, you pay for it, done.
Okay. Echo doesn't need to eat right now, so he's good.
So, anyone else? Anyone find anything interesting while they're running through town?
Yes, but I dare not mention it here in such a public setting.
Jupiter takes the sack of gold that he got from selling all the items and everything like that, and making a deal, sets it on the table. Here's what I got from the items. Most of it was from the dragon scale. From what the blacksmith told me, most of the metal from the weapons, I got at best 3 gold from it. Most of this is from the dragon scale.
And Echo takes out
You
the...
said it was what, 15 gold that he gave me, or was it 15 or 20?
Yeah, he gave you 15.
Oh yeah, it was fine. It was 15 gold.
Yeah. Damn, I actually didn't add the gold. Sorry.
That's all good.
Okay. Echo will pull out the component pouch that he got for Cross and hand it over to him.
Oh, thank you. I can get Walter back now. He's a brave little guy, but not that durable at times.
To some of your familiarity, do you have to draw something on the floor?
No, I just gotta go up to the room and spend an hour to do the ritual, and I'll do that before we go to bed.
Gotcha. And
You just burn the stuff in a little brazier and everything, and then it comes back.
you guys got one room for red, and there's enough room in there for one other person. So you guys would need 2 more rooms?
Echo is good without it.
Okay, so you just need 1 more room for Razi and... or for the 2 others?
Yeah. Echo will actually go back to the Land Cruiser.
And just hang out? Okay.
Yeah, so what do we want to do with all the coin we gathered? Do we want to, like, divide it all up? Do we want to pay, like, all of the party expenses, then divide what's left?
Well, I did spend 5 silver. But I did have quite a few gold left on me, so that wasn't quite of a problem. And as for Cross's things, I ended up using the gold I retrieved from all the items we sold to the general store.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't think anyone else minds since Walter died distracting the bandits for us.
Locke was just being honest. Personally, it would be easier if just one of us keeps track of it all. But if there is no trust among us, then we shall split it here.
Oh, it's just, I know we'll all have our own little things that we'll need through time, so I was wondering just how you guys wanted to do stuff.
I will say that the amount of coin you guys have weighs about 15 pounds now, so one person carrying it could be a strain on them. If you guys
Could,
want to
but
split it
Echo's
up,
only-
if you want to split it up just to divvy out the weight, that would be.
That would probably be the smart
Echo's
thing, 'cause
technically
right-
not weighed down at all yet. He's not even at 100 pounds of weight.
Yeah, and
I'm at 77, so I'm not encumbered. I'm not being weighed down or anything like that. So
I'm actually not even at 100 yet. I just went up a few pounds.
yeah, I don't think another 15 pounds is a big deal to Red.
Yeah.
Okay. So if just one person wants to carry it, then. that's
Well,
fine
we
too.
could at least have the party sack, and then we'll just take additional. We just keep it all in one sack, and then when we need to go do big shopping, we'll just divide it then.
Okay.
Um,
While you guys are discussing this, your meals come out, your drinks come out. The bartender, who is a Goliath with a big red beard, bald tattoos, he wears a makeshift shirt made from like a bear hide because he's huge. He places the food down and is like, "Is there anything else I can get for you guys?"
nah, I can't. I'm good. So it's basically just rabbit stew and ale.
Alright, so he brought the food out, brought the drinks out. And Jupiter, you're ordering another meal?
Nah, I'm just wait, the food that came out was for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Everybody ordered their food. Everybody ordered their food, right?
Echo just had those 2 rabbits cooked for the whole party, because
Okay.
Echo's not really going to eat much,
Okay.
other than probably a leg, just for sustenance.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, basically, I was just gonna have the house. I was basically just gonna have the ale that the special ale that was advertised and some rabbit stew, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he brings out the ale and everything, and the food was free. The ale is going to cost you guys about 6 copper total.
Okay, I'll mark that down really quick.
6 copper off. Mark 6 copper off.
I was just thinking it'd be easier if I do it, since I actually have copper and you won't have to exchange coins.
yeah, maybe when we get to Waterdeep, we can find a money changer and get all this down in the smaller, in the bigger, better, more manageable coins.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
I'll just
There's 1,500 copper. That's a lot to carry.
yeah. That's why I want to just keep losing my copper over anybody else's,
Yeah. All right.
if that makes sense.
Dad,
No, that makes plenty.
it's not letting
And you
me
said 6
wait,
copper?
It's not letting me go back.
Yeah, 6 copper. What do you mean it's not letting
I
you
just
go
wanted
back?
to double-
On the Xbox, it's not letting me go back like to Switch.
I don't know then, baby. I'll have to go look at a map.
But I need
Okay.
your help right now.
Baby, go ask mommy.
I got it. I need to switch into your account.
Okay.
All right.
My 5-year-old knows how to work the Xbox. Sometimes.
Nice.
That's great.
Okay. You guys finish your meals, finish your ale. You guys want another round, or are you guys good?
One's good for me.
I think I'm fine. Daedalus, are you okay?
Yeah, 1 round's good for me for now.
Alright. As the night comes to the close, everybody retires to their rooms. You guys pay in the morning. Echo,
I thought we already paid. I need to pay for the other one. How much was it? You said 6 or 2? 2 silver?
For the... How many of you?
I already
How many there
subtracted
are
the
you?
first room.
Okay, it's 4
I already
total.
subtracted
It's,
one room, so.
Okay, so 2 silver for the other room. A total of 4
Okay,
silver.
cool. I just wanted to make sure. I already subtracted it out of the first one, so.
Yeah, I mean, you'll pay in the morning, but yeah, it's subtracted. Echo returns to the land vehicle, keeping an eye on that while reading his book. Everybody else retires to their room. Cross resummons Walder,
Yep. As he
and
pops back in making chittering noises.
All right. As
And Echo's
Walter
going between the dictionary and the new language book. So he'll speak the orc word if he can and see if it actually comes out right.
Okay. Because you now have this comprehend language book, I'll say you can learn this language probably in the next week.
Okay. But this is what Echo's going to be doing for a while until he gets another decent book.
All right.
And
yeah.
in between, he'll just look at the grimoires and just see what's there.
Okay.
Not try to study or learn them.
Okay.
Actually, I can transfer a couple. Like, if you buy the, it's actually not too expensive for me to transfer spells I already know. So I can move the Burning Hands and the Fireball into one Grimoire, and Scorching Ray into one Grimoire fairly cheap.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's the Earth book that we pretty much need at this point. And it
Yeah.
already has. I have to go back to it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, for me, I have to.
It has. Yeah. It has
For-
Burning Hands and Fireball already. So
Yeah.
we only need Scorching Ray added to the book.
Or
That'd
which,
be like
or which
20.
book are you transferring? Are you transferring from the new one to your personal one?
We're transferring from the Fire book over to the Earth book just to have everything in one book.
Okay.
If that
Yeah,
makes sense. Because it's
so-
only one spell at that point we're transferring over.
Yeah, Cross knows the majority of those spells that are in the fire book, so transferring them over won't cost him much at all.
Yeah. Now, for me, the copy of Wall of Sand, though, it will be like 150 gold.
Yeah, Wall of Sand and Erupting Earth are going to be relatively expensive for you to copy over.
Yeah, because I gotta copy them the first time. Because I take it, copying the spells I already know, you're just treating that as like recreation, which is only like 10 gold a level.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I think like RP wise, it's 100 ink because you try to copy it one time, make a mistake, copy it. You keep copying it until you've perfected it.
Yeah, it's 50 ink if it's not your specialized school, and Blade Singers don't do a specialized school.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it's only one spell that needs to be transferred over, if I'm right about that.
Yeah.
It's Wall of
It's
Sand
Fireball,
and Erupting
Magic
Earth.
Missile. Magic Missile and Scorching Ray just needs to be transferred over to the...
Over to the Earthbrook, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. So just 2 spells.
Yeah, and those would be like 20 gold for those. Erupting Earth's also going to be 150 for me to learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
But
I can't remember if it's a scroll and you copy. If I can't remember if it consumes the scroll or not, I have to look
It
that
does.
up.
it
It
will
does.
consume the scroll.
Yeah.
That part did not change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if
I
I
was
copy
just-
the scrolls, it will consume the scrolls, but the Wall of Sand, it won't consume anything for me to copy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the Wall of Sand has both the spell scroll and the diagrams for it.
Technically, if I want to memorize it, I don't have to copy it. I can memorize it out of that book, but if I want to add it to mine, I'm gonna have to copy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. With all that, you guys drift off into sleep for the night. You guys take a long rest. You guys should be fully healed, spells brought back, and ready for the next day.
Yeah.
What time do you guys want to wake up? Right at sunrise or a little later in the day?
I'll probably wake up a little bit before sunrise because, just kind of do a little bit of like morning training like that. Jupiter is just kind of a little morning thing that Jupiter does do when he.
All right. Jupiter wakes up and just steps out of the room, walks out of the tavern. Nobody's in there just yet. The town's pretty quiet. He walks outside and just around the tavern to the back where it's kind of wide open spaces and just does his little morning workout.
Daedalus will also.
Yeah, stretches his wings and just does a little workout.
All I can imagine now is Big Bird doing stretches.
Right.
It's more as a just like actually when it comes to a good to like morning workouts and everything like that. Just imagine like Rock Lee from Naruto, just like push-ups, sit-ups, a couple of.
That's pretty
katas
much
and
what I was
everything like
expecting.
that. Just basic martial arts.
That pretty much sums up exactly what I was expecting you to do.
Yep.
Alright, Daedalus, what are you doing?
Daedalus will also get up with the sunrise and start doing his devotions.
Alright, Daedalus gets up in the morning, places his sacred object on a table, and does his morning devotions. Dons his armor, just gets ready for the day. I have a feeling Cross will be the one to sleep in.
Cross is enjoying a good bit of sleep with water on his head.
Cross is sleeping in for a little bit longer. Red has been asleep for the better part of 10 hours. So what's Red up to?
Yeah.
Red's gonna get up and then go back to
And go back to sleep.
I'm gonna get up and go walk around.
Alright, Red just gets up, stretches his legs, feeling good after a good night's sleep.
Does anybody go near the Land Cruiser at all? I mean, come on, guys.
Everybody in town has been asleep since you've been in the Land Cruiser and you've just been chilling. You saw Jupiter walk by, but he really wasn't paying attention. He was getting getting his workout routine set up. Nobody's stepped outside yet. As Red's coming down the stairs, the tavern owner is walking out and setting up coffee for any guests who are waking up.
Don't
Okay.
drink this stuff. Got
Echo will just go up to him and pay for the rooms since he's already up and awake. Just to have that.
Echo
taken
pays for
care
the
of.
rooms. The tavern owner says coffee's on the house. Just have coffee if you want it. And he just lazily goes back and sits in his chair, kind of dozing off every now and then.
I think after Jupiter's done with it, after I'm done with my workout, I'm probably just gonna see would the blacksmith be open by this time?
Once you're done with your workout, you look over toward the direction of the blacksmith and notice he never closed. He is sitting at a woodworking station, carving your bracers into their final shape. He's carving the yew wood into its final form and just getting it ready for you. I'd say you notice he has about another hour or so until you can go and check on it.
Probably just do it later on. Like the fact that you just sees that he's still working on this and just looks very impressed at just the dedication to his craft. Like Jupiter can understand that, especially considering he made his sword at the monastery and he knows how much time and a lot of effort it takes to to make stuff.
And that's everybody doing their thing. I'll say Cross starts to wake up in about 30 minutes once he starts smelling the coffee. Once the coffee starts going up into the rooms, Cross just kind of wake up. Alright, what are we doing with the day, gentlemen?
Well, when we all convene, I'll tell them about the general store and things that are there. You said the magic shop just opened up as well.
Yes, the secondary tavern potion shop has opened up as well. And you notice there are two old ladies just sitting in rocking chairs in the front of it.
Okay.
And they are visibly if Echo didn't know that humans didn't live that long, he would swear these ladies were his age.
Dang.
Like they are visibly old.
Well, good thing Echo has respect for elderly humans that survive past their actual date of expiration.
These two old ladies are just sitting there, rocking back and forth. Just they look like they're in a little daze, just enjoying the day. One younger lady is walking in and out of the store, bringing random herbs out to dry on the out on the deck. Cross, you recognize some of these items as fairly rare herbs that are used in making incense. And Razi, if you step outside, you also notice that some of these herbs are used in a lot of prayers in temples that you're familiar with.
And they're just a potion shop, right? They're not really anything special for Echo.
Yeah, they're just they're a basic alchemy shop.
Okay.
They also sell a couple of drinks that are not exactly beer or whiskey, but have that same effect.
Alright. Well, I would say the other two would need to look inside more than anybody.
Alright. Jupiter, as anybody else is going in the potion shop, you start walking up toward the blacksmith, because he should be just about finished with your bracers now.
Right.
And
Alright,
who
sounds
wants
good.
to go
How's
explore
that?
the potion shop?
I wanted to go explore the blacksmith.
Okay, I'll say red.
I'll explore the
I'll say
potion shop.
red. I'll say red. Razi and Jupiter all go up to the blacksmith.
Okay. And then I'll go to the potion shop with Cross, I guess.
Okay, Echo and Cross go to the potion shop. We'll go there first, just because it's closer.
Okay.
I mean, they're right beside each other, but you guys are basically right in front of the potion shop. The young lady who is bringing herbs out and tending the store. I'll let you pass that in a second. She notices you, and you guys just happen to notice that she looks almost identical to the older ladies, just, 100 years younger. Like, it looks like they're all twins, they're triplets. They look almost identical, except this one's really young.
That's spooky, but okay.
Yeah. As she comes up to you, she's like, "Welcome. How may I help you today?" Would you care for some potions or some herbs? The voice does not match the body at all. Like, she looks
The voice
really good.
The voice looks like she's as old as the rest.
Yeah,
huh?
she looks like really good, but she sounds ancient.
Cross, did you need anything?
I think Cross stepped away for a second.
Okay. Then yeah, it's probably best if you go back to the blacksmith shop, because most of this would have to... We would probably need Cross for it. The herbs and stuff, because Echo doesn't really necessarily need them.
Okay, then we're gonna go to the blacksmith shop real quick. Jupiter, you start walking up.
Hey, do you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear
Yeah,
you
now we can.
Okay, my mic cut out. No, it's like looking at the shop.
Okay.
Like I got most of what I needed the night before, and I don't really have the spare cash to buy more stuff right now. But do they have any like useful potions or anything like that, or is it just like a sort amount of herbs?
No, they definitely do sell potions and tankards and various other brews. The young looking lady, she's like, what kind of potions are you looking for?
Do you have any
Go ahead.
any potions of healing? Would be useful to us?
Potions of healing are a particular type of potion. What kind of healing? Are you looking for something that will put a kick in your step or something that will just keep you barely alive for a little bit longer?
Something that closes up wounds after a guy stabs me in the dark.
I know what you're looking for, lad. She reaches around the counter and brings out a box of potions. And you notice they're in different sizes, different qualities. There are regular healing potions, there are greater healing potions, and there are superior healing potions all in this box.
Okay.
And how much do your different potions cost? As I brace for the price shock that's about to hit me.
Well, the smaller ones we only charge a gold per each. Just a single gold each. The medium-sized ones we charge about 6 gold a piece, because naturally you could tell they cost a lot more materials. The large potions are 20 gold a piece.
Okay, and how much does each of them kind of like restore and like getting hurt? Like looking at the small one, like
The small one, if you have a couple scrapes and bruises, even a decent sized cut, it'll patch you up just fine.
like how many times, like if a cat bit me like 4 times, would this be able to fix it?
More than enough, lad. More than enough. The medium ones will, if you lose a limb, you might be able to grow it back. She says in a joking manner. It will not let your limbs grow back. Don't test it.
Okay. Is this more like if like a guy hit me in the head with a mace?
Pretty much. If you got like really hurt, it's a greater healing potion.
Yeah.
It'll heal broken bone.
And then the superior will bring you back from the brink of death.
Yeah. Like comparing the two, like if someone stabbed me with all the force of a dagger with one of these, like how many dagger stabs would most of these fix?
Laddie, are you okay? Are you looking to get stabbed?
I was gonna say, Jesus.
Because I could arrange it for you, Cross.
She is like, this lady is literally questioning your sanity at this moment.
Rozzy gets exactly where I'm coming from with this reference. Alright, well, I'll let my friends know that you have some various potions for sale. Like, they don't trust me with the money.
Echo still has 25 left of his own coin. So he just looks at him and goes, I'll give you 25 for these 2. And he points to one of the greater and then one of the superior potions.
She looks at you closely. She's like, You know what, laddie? You're cute. I'll make that deal with you. And I'll even throw in a regular healing potion for you.
Oh, much obliged. Oh, well, that finally freaking closes up Echo's actual funds. Echo is now broke.
Alright. So you now have
All
a
the money he
superior
has
potion?
on hand.
You have a superior healing potion, a greater healing potion, and a regular healing potion.
Yeah. Go down to 40.
Alright.
Okay.
And is that all at the potion shop?
Yeah. That's all
Alright.
for potions for.
Back at the blacksmith, as the guys are entering the potion shop, Jupiter, Red, and Rozzy walk up to the blacksmith, who is tightening up the bracers on himself, just testing the fit. He gives a couple quick jabs just to see if they still lightweight, even though he added the yew wood into it. And he notices Jupiter coming up with friends. And he's like, "Hey, bird boy, you're back." Is this the voice I did? I think this is the voice I did. Hey, boy, you're back. I I forgot
that's
what.
better,
I
I think,
forgot the
actually.
dwarf. Okay. Anyway. Hey, laddie, you're back. So you brought friends with you? Do they need weapons too?
That I'm not really sure about. They just kind of tagged along. My friend Red over here, he was exhausted from the trip, so he was actually sleeping in the inn the other night. So.
Well, I'm sure I can find something for him here. He takes the bracers off and sets them on the table. I was like, so, I'm glad you got a good night's rest. I did not, because I was working on these all night. But he tosses them, he picks them back up and tosses them in the air for a second, and then tosses them to you. He's like, try those on.
All right, Jupiter catches them and slips them on. See how they feel. Just
He picks up the same tower shield you punched yesterday, and now you notice that your punch is now gone. The divot you made is gone. He repaired that while he was fixing your bracers. And he's like, give her another swing, laddie.
I've been busy. All right. And just the normal D20 plus 8.
Yep.
Roll. 11.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. I'm like, you're hitting a blank target.
Right.
You hit. Okay, go ahead and roll for damage.
Roll for damage. Eight.
Plus 1 is 9. All right, you make another.
All right.
You make another dent in it. Just this one's a little bit deeper, and you see the metal kind of scratched a little bit on your blade, on the brass knuckles, and you're just like, nice.
Does it look like? You said there's scratches on the shield and everything like that. Does it look like it even scratched like the brass knuckles on the?
No, the knuckles on your hands are just fine. The metal that's on your bracers, nothing's damaged on them at all.
Okay, honey.
But yeah, you scratched the shield when you punched.
He's on his game. He can't just walk away.
You just looked impressed. It's like
Hold on, we're almost done,
you
baby.
were certain.
It's so cool.
Okay, I'm coming. Just give me 1 second.
All right, I'm sorry. What?
As I basically, he just gives him some praise, like you are certainly a man of your craft. I am impressed. Not a scratch.
Well, I'm glad you like it, laddie. He sets the shield onto his anvil to fix it in a few minutes. Well, you've already paid for my services, and I'm glad you like it. I want to test something really quickly, though. Cast one of your druid spells over there, just to make sure that the yew wood is a proper focus for you.
All right, and as it just kind of focuses, and just kind of takes like a small patch on the ground where the dirt is, just to kind of make a platform come up.
To make a what come up?
I'm gonna use the control element, the basic element controls cantrip.
Yeah. To cast Mold Earth.
Yeah, just to kind of raise it up just about a few feet.
Alright. As you begin to channel the magic, some runes that were carved into the wood begin to just faintly glow. And the earth rises a few feet, about waist high on you. And then as you cancel the spell, it fades back down. Well, I'd say that's a right good focus for you. Glad I could be of assistance.
So,
Now,
just kneels down and just holds his hand out and just shakes it. Pleasure doing business with you.
oh, pleasure doing business with you, laddie. Now, let me take care of this turtle, and he looks behind Red Shell. Okay. He looks behind Red Shell and sees a dwarf just like standing off to the side. He's like, "Hey, brother, what's up? How you doing?"
Sorry, I didn't hear all that. My computer kind of fritzed out.
He looks behind Red, where you're just like standing off to the side. He couldn't exactly see you where you were standing. He looks over to the side and just goes, "Hi, brother. How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, laddie." Talking right to Rozzy. Or Daedalus. Talking right to Daedalus.
That moves us.
Well, how about yourself?
I'm doing good. We should get a pint later if you're still in town.
If I'm still in town, we.
Raise your devil's ass because I want to be there about 15 or so.
Okay, we're almost done here.
I'm gonna do my first for hair. I did it again.
Okay.
Do it for plus and then I'll be ready. I love you.
Okay, sorry. I gotta go to my nephew's birthday party, I think. So we'll end this up here in a minute. Alright. He looks at Red and Daedalus as like, what can I do for you laddies?
I'm really not sure. Wait. You can take out a spare. Yeah, you sharp.
I didn't hear all that, Red.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I goes, I'm really not sure, and he stops in mid-sentence and he gives a spear. Think you can sharpen.
Alright, you need your tools sharpened. He takes the spear, kind of has to like hold it upside down because the spear is longer, taller than he is. Inspects the craftsmanship of it. It's like, good quality spear. A little heavy on the front side, but it's fine. It's fine. I can sharpen this for you for 5 copper pieces.
Wonderful. Also, when I take out the sword handle, does this sword mean anything to you?
He takes the handle and just looks at it. It's like, I don't know where this sword, who was wielding the sword, but I know who made the sword.
What would that be?
Well, I'm the one that made it.
Oh.
Huh. How the hell did they break my blade?
That I'm not sure.
He's actually a little perturbed now. His already rosy dwarf face is even brighter red. He's like, hey, damn it. The handle was basically worthless, but the blade was so precious. Where'd you find this?
Oh, I found it in the tent of a pirate's camp.
So, Captain Green
Did you hear all
Tusk is
that?
dead. Yeah, I heard that. Alright, who killed Captain Stormtusk?
If Echo, well... Echo,
You guys-
Echo hasn't.
Echo and Cross
Echo
are
didn't
both,
kill him, so he's.
Echo and Cross are both close enough that they can hear him. This dwarf is not exactly quiet about it.
I just look back at Echo. I was like, man, I think we're busted.
The dwarf's like, I don't really care if he's dead. He's a kind of a jackass. I just want to know what he did to my blade.
yeah, we're not really sure, but we found it in the tent. Sorry to hear about your friend.
It's fine, it's fine. You really don't have the metal to replace it. And you see him stop mid-sentence and kind of look over at the blue dragon scale he just got. And he's like, I wonder. That could be interesting. And then he just goes back to you guys. He's like, well, dwarf brother, what's your name?
Name's Daedalus.
Alright, Daedalus. Is there anything I can do for you, sir? Looks like you've got some pretty decent armor there, dwarven craft, very nice. But that warhammer, that's not dwarven craft. Where'd you get a precious toy like that?
Actually, my adventuring company here just gave it to me.
I see. I can feel a strong magic from that. Well, you take care of that hammer. But is there anything else I can get for you?
Nah, I think I'm all set.
Alright, well, I will sharpen the spear really fast for you. It'll take me about 10-20 minutes. And I'll have it ready for you. Is there anything your elven friends need? As the dwarf, like, just
How much will
looks...
it be to sharp? Oh, I'm sorry.
The dwarf just looks over the balcony and sees them kind of just walking by, trying not to draw attention to themselves. And Red, you had something to say?
I take out the hand axe. How sharp?
As he's sharpening your spear, and he's almost done with your spear. Like it didn't take him as long as he thought it would. He pulls it off and looks at your axe. He's like, "Oh no, 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 no! You are not walking around with that. That is garbage." He takes the axe. He literally takes the axe from you. He's like, "Boy, I will give you 2 axes for this piece of junk, just because I will not allow you to walk around with this piece of junk."
Have yourself a.
He pulls out 2 dwarven axes. They have gold sheens, except for the blade, except for the very edge of the blade, which is a vibrant silver. It's like, alright. Besides, these are better for throwing anyway. Hands you 2 dwarven make axes. Nothing special about them. They're just regular hand axes, but they just look way better and are more sturdy than the bone makeshift orc axe that you were carrying.
Thanks, and I just give him a silver, just being
Hey,
kind.
it's just something latte.
He takes the silver, bites into it, and then slips it into his chest pocket. And then he takes
I'm still removing it from ours.
Yeah, he takes the axe that you gave him and literally throws it in the fire. Just chucks it right into his kiln. And he's like, all right. He's like, well, if the business here is done, I'm going to go catch a few hours of sleep before I reopen shop. So, is there anything else I can do for you lads?
You know, Echo actually likes this guy. He walks up and hands over his broken rapier that he's still sad that's broken.
He
He's
takes it
still
and is like, who was fighting with a toothpick? Literally, this dude like has insulted all your weapons. It's like, boy,
Well, that was me, though I'm more of a magic wielder.
It's like, you were fighting with a toothpick at all. What is this? It's like, if you want a finesse weapon, he looks around in the chest and pulls out a whip that has almost looks like a crystal, but it's made of metal. It's like crystal shaped. He's like, here, this is a better finesse weapon for a magic user than a damn rapier. Who fights with a toothpick? He throws that. He throws that into the fire as well.
Echo will take the other rapier that's useless now at this point and just hands it over.
He takes the broken rapier and the regular rapier, throws them into the fire. He doesn't want them. He's like, nope.
Wait a minute. Cross fights with rapier.
Yeah, I do. And I draw my very nice rapier that we found in the thing.
Well, yeah, no, that's a jeweled rapier. That's different. That's gonna be...
He looks at it. He's like, it looks good, but it's still a toothpick.
Do you say too thick or too thin?
Toothpick.
Toothpick? Well, you know, it works good for me.
I hope it does, laddie.
Yeah, he pokes stuff and they die.
The dwarf
Rapier
just,
mostly.
Yeah, the dwarf just looks around at y'all. His eyes a little sleepy. He's like, alright. You guys were fun, but now I need to get some rest. Is there anything else I can help you with before I turn the flames off for the day?
No, Echo's extremely pleased.
Alright.
Jupiter just takes
All right.
Just curious, how much was how much was a mug of ale at the I think it was like 6 silver. Jupiter just gives a gold to the blacksmith. Just be like, buy yourself a few drinks. You've earned it after the night that you've had, my friend. Just hands him the gold piece.
He takes the gold piece and is like, "Thank you, laddie. I might just go do that." As you see him go over, and not realizing that he's as magical as he is, he casts Control Flame and douses his forge. Like instantaneously, just the flames die out, and he goes back inside and goes to bed. Alright. You guys have a full day's journey to Waterdeep. And we will do that in the next session because I've got to go to a birthday party.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for everything today.
Thank you.
Alright.
Hell yeah, this
Thank
is
you
fun.
guys for hanging out, and that's an RP session. And next session we might get into some combat, we might do some RP. I'm not entirely sure how far we'll get.
It all depends on how bad we screw up.
Pretty much.
Let's see what the dice has. Let's see what the fate known as the dice have in store for us.
Just so you guys know, the land meet that the guards were telling you about in Saltmarsh is happening in Waterdeep. So
Okay.
a bunch of aristocrats and the king of Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate will all be there.
Okay.
Oh,
My
jeez.
hometown.
That is just common information you already know. Just keep it in mind.
Okay.
All right, not a problem.
Alright, see you guys later.
Later, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Yay, we got through the session and didn't get arrested.
Still not 100%.
Yeah.
But it looks good. And I love it. Really, really great.
Goodbye. Stream is over because I gotta go.